At the moment, we're all about the end of season playoffs. The regular season, the closure of it is in sight for most of these sides, and the race for the playoffs is occupying everyone's thoughts. Oxford, pretty much job done for them. They're sat in the playoffs nice and comfortable, and they'll be looking to try and win their remaining fixtures to get themselves up maybe to the top of that table to finish the regular season at the very top. If they can pit Paul, great victory there the other week. It'd be good for them to finish top of the table. For the reigning champions, the Glasgow Tigers, it's been a testing season. They currently sit 5th. 5 points adrift of Workington, and it's pretty much win or bust for them in all of their remaining fixtures if they're going to try and grab one of those last couple of spots in the playoffs. Glasgow and Oxford, they did meet in the Knockout Cup earlier in the season. The Cheetahs defeated the Tigers 93-87 on aggregate in the quarterfinals of the Cab Direct Knockout Cup, with the Cheetahs overturning a 12-point deficit back here at Cowley in the second leg of that fixture. It's a relatively calm, dry day here in Oxford today, not too hot. Bit of a track walk earlier. The track looks nice and grippy. They've ripped up the starts. There's plenty of grip on the outside early on, as we know with being here every week. That line will build up as the night goes on. It will be an inside line to start with, nice and safe on the curb before those riders start moving up towards the fence. Although when you've got Chris Harris on the opposite side of the pits, you might want to hold back a little bit on the grip, because you know that is where he is going to go. So without further ado, we'll have a look at the two sides. Like we say, Oxford sat in the playoffs, looking nice and comfortable at this moment in time. The two big names for them, Sam Masters obviously at number 1. He's got 9.6 average. Sam, he's had a fantastic season. He's really found this home form now, and this is really a home track for him, and they'll be looking for big scores from him tonight. Number 2, Cameron Heeps. This is the only side Cam's riding for, so he hasn't got regular speedway like some of the other guys. So he's only back on the bike when the Cheetahs are in action, but he can be seen spannering around other tracks, so he's keeping his hand in. Number 3, Ashton BOUGHEN. The young man's his birthday today, 17th birthday. Started the year at reserve, and he's moved his way up into the main body of the side. He finds himself at number 3. Cheetah and Aspire this year. He's doing very well. Jordan Jenkins at 4. Again, part of that engine room of this side. National League Riders Championship champion in 2022. He won the league here with the Oxford Chargers last season, knows his track very well. Scott Nicholls, man who took a nasty tumble in the pairs here on Friday last week, but bounced back from it, 8.53. You know what to expect from Scott. He's going to score big, he's going to ride hard, and he'll lead the side along with Sam. Luke Killeen at reserve, a man who's riding for all 3 of the sides here, the Chargers, the Spires and the Cheetahs. He's had a good season here, Luke, and he's really making great strides in the sport. Big things expected from him tonight. And at 7, it will be Connor Coles. We've got Jody Scott written there, but it will be Connor Coles. He's come in. We weren't sure who was going to be at 7 tonight, whether it was going to be Adam Royne and Jody Scott, but we have got Connor Coles. That is the picture of Connor there. He will be guesting tonight at number 7 for the Cheetahs. And yeah, he's been here a few times this season already, and they'll be hoping to see some points from Connor. When we look at the Glasgow Tigers, a man that knows this track very well. He's a Spire this year. Chris Harris, out and out number 1, exceptional. He will give us something to cheer about as the night goes on, I am sure. At number 2, Jack Smith, son of former rider Andy. He took a call mid-season to come into the Glasgow Tigers, and to be fair to Jack, he's held his own in that difficult number 2 spot. Recent signing Anders Rowe, he comes in at 3. He's really found some form here at Oxford in the last couple of visits, especially last week in the pairs where he won 3 of his 4 programme rides. At 4, a new name to many, Matic IVACIC is Slovenian, 4-time Slovenian champion. And I was talking to Oxford Glasgow management earlier on, Cami BROWN, and he's really excited by Matic. Said he's great out of the gate, but again, coming to loads of new tracks, he's learning as he's going. To be exciting to see him tonight. At number 5, Leon Flint, again a rider who's been here a number of times this season. Leon struggled at times of his own admission, but he's riding at number 5. He's got a heat leader position. It's never going to be easy. He's never got any easy races. But Leon progressing steady, nice and steady after his move from Berwick last year to Glasgow this year. At reserve, James Pearson took home a bronze medal for Australia in the Speedway Nations 2 up at Manchester earlier in the year. James, really likeable lad, was at Birmingham last year. He's made the move across up to Glasgow this year, and he's doing very, very well for them. And at number 7, it is a guest in Tom Spencer. He comes in to cover at the bottom end of the side. Again, Cami BROWN was struggling to get a guest to come in, but they're happy to have Tom. He's ridden for them already, and he's got a couple more bookings coming up as well, I believe. So, and he's back here on Sunday for the Leicester side in the National League. So this will be good for the Leicester and the National League side, with Tom getting a bit of exposure to the track tonight. So that's how the two sides are going to line up. like we said, they've already met each other this season. It was a close encounter. There's only 6 points between the two of them over the 2 legs in the Knockout Cup. But it's a big important meeting for both sides. But Glasgow have got to come here and get something. The return leg is on Friday at Ashfield, and they're not going to want to go back to there with a huge deficit if they do lose. They want to try and keep it close because they are on the tail of Workington in 4th, and they'll be looking to try and squeeze in. But you know, Cami was very reflective on their season. It's been a tough season. They've had injuries, they've had rider swaps in that side, and they're hoping that Anders Rowe can come in back end of the season, the last few meetings, and do a job for them. So the two captains just been interviewed down there. What we'll do is I'll just listen and see if I can hear who wins the toss when they do that in a moment, and what gates will be chosen. We've seen as we go on at this track, you know, 1 and 3 is a usual pick from the captain, but as the night goes on, the gates even up. The gates do even up. Here we go. Let's see if we can listen in a second. So Chris Harris and the Tigers, I think they won the toss, and by the sound of it, they went 2 and 4 in Heat 1, which is a bit of a surprise for Chris. He'll probably put himself off of gate 4. So obviously when the riders come round, I struggle to catch that. When the riders come round for Heat 1, we will obviously confirm that for you. But by the sound of it, it was a Chris Harris Glasgow winner of the toss, and they're going to take 2 and 4 in Heat number 1, which means it'll flick back over towards the Cheetahs at the back end of the meeting. So when I was watching the riders on the track walk earlier on, you could see Chris Harris was really leading the track walk for the Glasgow boys. Obviously he's got phenomenal knowledge of this track. He's ridden here for the Spies this season, has given us some excellent entertainment, both on Oxford TV and on British Speedway Network. 100% trier, Chris, and if there's any grip out there, if there's a gap up against the fence, he's the man to find it. But on the flip side, he comes up against his career-long companion, colleague, friendly enemy in Scott Nicholls. They've been around together all that time, and they're sure to give us some exciting racing this evening. So it's interesting how the back end of the meeting's going to go when it flicks over to Oxford. They'll be hoping to try and pull away in the mid part of the meeting, when they get their riders out that know this circuit, maybe a little bit better than the likes of IVACIC for Glasgow. I'm not sure the last time Jack Smith was here. Obviously for Tom Spencer stepping up into the Premiership, there won't be any easy rides for him. So just a quick practice lap for the riders, gives them chance just to get a 1 lap, 2 lap feel for the circuit. They'll do a couple of practice starts to get a feel for their clutches, whether they're going to go in and make any changes prior to Heat 1. But your Heat 1 is going to be a big one. Sam Martis and Chris Harris come out, but Cam Heeps at number 2. You know, Cam's been a game changer at 2 in a couple of meetings of late. He's really put good performances in at number 2. Like I said, he doesn't have regular speedway like some of them. So for him to jump on the bike every week, the gap and putting the performances he has is fantastic to see. So we've got our programme 15 races as we normally do. Heat 15, as we all know, is a selection for the managers to pick their top 2 riders to go into 15. But what we also have this evening is that's a little bit of fun, I guess, is we've got a blast from the past second half meeting for you, where we've got 4 heats with riders riding old GMs, Weslakes. It's been a 3-match series between England and Scotland, and it comes to Oxford tonight for the final round, with Scotland winning 1. There was a draw, and so it goes down to the last one. So yeah, a bit of fun, but we will continue to stream and bring you that this evening. We'll try and grab a word with Lee Ashby, friend of mine, who is managing the English side, and he'll go up against Bert Harkins, who'll be managing the Scotland side. So we'll keep you up to date, and we'll have an interview with Lee later on and find out a little bit more about that. Second halves, obviously back in the day, were a regular thing. Every meeting had a second half of description, whether it was riders from the main meeting in an individual after the meeting, top scorers, or whether it was a junior second half event. It's always a muchly hotly anticipated event after the meeting, so it's nice that we've got one to bring you tonight. So we will be moving swiftly on with heat number 1 in a moment. Your referee this evening is Chris DURNO, well respected ref Chris. We'll be keeping a close eye on the meeting. Oxford still reeling a little bit from last Friday's defeat in the pairs. Did exceptionally well, Sam and Chris, to work their way through the heats, get to the final. And then it was a bit of an unfortunate end to a pairs meeting where the scoring is obviously 4-3-2-0. You've got to be on track with your partner. Many of you probably saw it, many of you possibly were here. Big coming together between Charles Wright, who was obviously for red car that evening, as a spy this season, but he was for red car that evening, and Scott Nicholls, as they were coming around turns 3 and 4. Scott came up the inside of Charles, and there was a coming together. And unfortunately Scott was deemed to be the cause of the stoppage, and with the scoring at 4-3-2, the referee decided he was going to award the race. I didn't think that Danny King, who was leading, was on to the last lap, and my question mark over that was, yes, it is 4-3-2, so you've got to be with your teammate to where you could just pack in for second and third, but if a red car rider had dropped a chain at the start line or had an engine problem themselves, it would have been a match race. But so Oxford feeling a little bit aggrieved, licking their wounds after that one. But they're back tonight to the serious stuff. They want to win this league. It looks like the Spires possibly just going to miss out on the playoffs. It looks like Leicester are going to get that last playoff spot in the Premiership, but down here in the Championship, Oxford are comfortably in those playoffs, and they're going to want to win this league. At a big meeting here on Sunday, National League. Leicester at the top, Oxford in second, the Chargers. They're the two that can win that National League, and they're going to be going for each other here on Sunday. But we are 25 seconds away from tapes up. We are heat 1 here of this Cab Direct Championship fixture. Here we go, as your runners and riders for heat number 1. Off the inside in blue will be Cameron Heeps. Next to him in yellow will be Jack Smith. Off gate 3 in red will be Sam Masters, and it'll be Chris Harris for Glasgow in white off of the outside. So it looks like it was Chris Harris that won the toss. He did choose 2 and 4. Here we go with heat number 1. Takes up and away they go, and it's a good start from 3 of the 4. Jack Smith just tailed away early, but Oxford have packed in nice. Sam Masters, Cam Heeps riding side by side, but Chris Harris already looking out wide, already putting his back wheel in the dirt. Cam moves over just to shut that line off. Looking up the inside, going into turn 1 for the second time, Chris Harris. Sam Masters looks like he's comfortable out front. It's Cam Heeps who's in the shot of Chris Harris. Chris just cutting back a little bit, changing his line up the inside. Sometimes difficult to get a run in the early heats when that line hasn't built up, but Chris is working really hard here in third place to try and land a blow. He's going in deep again. Cam's hugging the inside, Chris has gone outside. Is he going to get a run? Of course he is. Chris Harris, fantastic speedway there to go into the last lap. Can Cam make a move back? Looks like Chris might have just done that. Excellent move from Chris Harris. Sam Masters, he's out front, he's going to take the win. Chris Harris is going to be second for Glasgow, and Cameron Heeps in third, and Jack Smith just tailed off there in 4th place. So you know he's going to do it, you know he's capable of doing it, and he'll never give up. Wonderful move from Chris Harris round the outside of Cameron Heeps to get that 2nd place. Sam Masters was home and dry from tapes to flag for him. Jack Smith working away, wasn't miles off the pace at the back there Jack, but he wasn't in the mix with the 3 in front of him. Sam comes round to take the applause. Great heat 1 for him. Tapes to flag, like I say, never in doubt, and it's hard there, you know. He could have tried to pack in and work with Cam, but when you've got someone like Chris who's capable of landing a blow at any point, sometimes it's better just to consolidate, take the points, and walk away with the 4-2. Sam Masters with a win for Oxford. 2nd place Chris Harris for Glasgow. 3rd place Cameron Heeps for Oxford, and Jack Smith at the back. So it's a 4-2 opening score to the home side. Here we can see it from tapes. Only Jack really that was left there. The other 3 made an even break. And a little bit later in the meeting, Chris will find that there's probably going to be a line out there for him, and he'll go a little bit deeper into 2 and try and carry that run around. But Cam and Sam packed in, rode nice and neatly and side by side for the first couple of. You can already see Chris there just putting his back wheel out in that grip. But he just built the momentum up over the course of the race, 2 or 3 laps, and then lap 3, Chris Harris does what Chris Harris does, found that line around the outside, and again it's hard for Cam to know where to ride against Chris, because if you cover the outside he'll keep it tight and come up the inside, and vice versa. So on then to heat number 2, and it'll be James Pearson off the inside in white for Glasgow. Next to him in red will be Luke Killeen for Oxford, Tom Spencer, the guest, in yellow off of gate 3 for Glasgow, and Connor Coles, the guest, in blue for Oxford off of gate 4. 4-2 opening score. Glasgow will be looking to hit back. James Pearson's had a very good season for Glasgow. He's a rider that's beat out some big scalps as the season's gone on. But in Luke Killeen, he's got a rider who knows this track and has ridden this track probably more than anybody else this season. It was gate 3 that provided that winner in that first heat. We'll just keep tabs on that as we roll through. So they'll be looking to hit back Glasgow here, and they'll be hoping that James Pearson is the man that can do that. But if Tom Spencer or Connor Coles make the gate, it could make it interesting going into turns 1 and 2. Here we go. Takes a little bit of a nibble there from Luke Killeen, but he's in the mix. That's a really competitive. Oh, I could see it happening. Really competitive. All of them made the gate together. They've all gone charging into that first turn together. Something had to give. It is the 2 guests that were on the outside, Connor Coles and Tom Spencer, that have gone down. Once they got hooked up on the apex of 1 and 2, the writing was on the wall, unfortunately, and they just went straight into the bag together. James Pearson and Luke Killeen managed to pull round and avoid it. Connor Coles is up on his feet. We're just waiting for, and it looks like Tom Spencer is as well. That's fantastic to see. That's really good to see. I'm really pleased, because that was an ugly looking crash. Classic case of first bend bunching. No one's fault. All of them going into that same spot together. I think the last time I was here with Tom, here we go, we can see it again. They're just all gone in together. Tom just hooks up there with Connor, and Connor's then, on a hide into nothing. And when you've got bikes and bodies going into the bag together, that is when we can get some injury. But thankfully both the boys are up and they're walking back, which is fantastic to see. It will be all 4 back in for sure. Yeah, I could see it happening as they were moving, because they all made the gate together. They all made a fair gate, and when that's the case, something has got to give. It's very rare that we get round the first 2 turns when all 4 have made a gate like they've done there. But thankfully they're up, they're walking back. I'm not sure the bikes are feeling as well as the riders. That bike there, Tom Spencer's bike, just getting taken into the pits. There's Connor Coles walking through shot with Scott Nicholls. Tom Spencer's already made his way. We can see it again from the tapes. It's an even break. Luke Killeen did have just a little bit of a nibble there, but as we go in, Luke gets moved over. If James moves Luke over, Luke just moves over. Tom's got nowhere to go but to connect with Connor, and then once that happens, man and bike hook up and get dragged into the fence. But thankfully both the boys are okay, which is terrific to see. They both walked back in. Nobody seems to have made their way to the paramedics. The paramedics hut to the left of the pits. And we can see Jamie Courtney with the cap on, Michael Hunt, the taller one with the cap on. There's another Wayne Hutt with the cap on as well. But the guys have just been out and checked, just to check the air fence, make sure that that's okay. Looks like it survived that incident. No need to change the bag, so the ref will just give them a little bit more time. I think Tom Spencer's 100% going to be on bike 2. Not sure about Luke Killeen. I didn't see his bike getting brought back into the pits. Not Luke Killeen, sorry, Connor Coles. I was looking at Luke Killeen on screen, talking there to Ashton BOUGHEN. Just from my vantage point, I can see a bit of what you can see. Connor Coles there on screen, still wearing his blue helmet there, the number 7. Just to his left is Senna Summer. And also Declan Killeen, which is Luke's brother, and he's actually racing for the Chargers on Sunday as well. They're both in the pits there with Luke tonight. We can see Connor there, with the blue helmet on. So yeah, maybe his machine did survive that. I know Tom Spencer's 100% didn't survive that. That definitely took a battering. Probably a bit bent after that incident. Hopefully Connor can use the same bike again. So the ref, understandably, just giving the boys a bit of extra time just to get themselves ready after that. But like I was saying on opening credits, this is a big meeting for Glasgow. They're realistic in their quest to get into the playoffs. They understand it's a big ask. Workington have still got one home meeting to go against Plymouth, and they did win down at Plymouth. So Plymouth have got everything in the locker to go up to Workington and push them all the way and potentially get a win. But Workington will be looking to take victory in that one and the aggregate points. That will give them 3 points, which means that Glasgow can't really afford to drop anything. Cami Brown was saying, look, if we lose today, we've got to keep it close so that we can nab that accurate point on Friday. But it'd be interesting, that push for the playoffs. Poole are obviously in. Oxford all but there. I think maybe a point will do it for them. But when all said and done, they're in, and then it'll be a combination of Scunthorpe, Workington, and Glasgow making up the playoffs this year. And obviously, with the Oxford hat on, we'll be hoping that Oxford get in there and get that league tie. They did brilliantly in the National League last year to win the title. This is the level they came back in at, remember? And we wanted to take this title with the Spires missing out potentially on the playoffs come the end of the season. So a bit more activity in the pits. Luke Killeen just getting himself back ready. Sam Marston, Scott Nicholls. Doubt very much they're talking about the incident on Friday, but it was one that did annoy Scott. I know Scott felt he was harshly excluded for that one. Felt he was in front at the time, and Charles Wright had come into the back of him, but could have gone either way. The referee saw it the other way, and that gave Redcar the victory. And, for your pub quiz questions, the last time Dan Bewley won at Cardiff, Redcar won the pairs here at Oxford. So next season, if Redcar win again, get your money on Dan Bewley. There's a strong chance he'll be taking victory at Cardiff again. So we were supposed to be seeing Adam Roynan for Oxford tonight. That was one possible rider. Adam, he rode up for them at Redcar, and unfortunately in that first outing he got taken. Well, he reacted fantastically. Jody Scott, his teammate, got in a bit of bother, and Adam came down. And I think we were looking at Jody potentially to take that last reserve spot, but Connor Coles has stepped in. He's been here a couple of times this season. Sound rider down at reserve, Connor. He'll get you 3 or 4 points. That's what Oxford will be hoping that he can do for them tonight. 2 minutes are back on as we look to go again for heat number 2. If you did join us late, you can see it was 4-2 in the opening heat for the Oxford Cheetahs. Win for Sam Masters. Chris Harris took the second with a great move around Cameron Heeps. And then the first staging of heat number 2, we saw the 2 guests this evening, Tom Spencer and Connor Coles, come to grief. Thankfully both of them are okay. Tom's bike, I think, won't see the meeting again, so he's on his second machine. But just the first Ben Bungeon incident, and all 4 back. So yeah, it looks like Connor's on the same bike. That's the same machine, I think. So hopefully no damage done to him or bike. So here we go, we'll try again. James Pearson on the inside in white for Glasgow, heat number 2. Luke Killeen in red. Here we go for gate number 2. Tom Spencer, last one to join us. He'll be off of gate number 3 in yellow for Glasgow. And Connor Coles in blue, guesting tonight for Oxford. He'll find himself off of gate number 4. So yeah, definitely a new bike for Tom Spencer. Just getting a start in. Let's see if Oxford can increase their 2-point advantage, or whether Leicester can hit back. Get something in this reserves race. Obviously, as we know, reserves can take 7 rides tonight, so if one of these steps up, we may well see them.
So here we go, heat number 2, Oxford against Glasgow. Takes up and away we go on heat number 2. Bit more of a jagged break. Look, that's a great start from Nicholls.
Can he get a move around James Pearson? Yes, he can. James holds it down the back straight. Well done, James Pearson. Nicholls second place. Luke Killeen in third. Tom Spencer currently at the back. It's a great start from James Pearson. Nicholls did put it to him in the first 2 turns. Now it looks like James is just pulling away. Oxford are packing into second and third. Tom Spencer just cut adrift away a little bit at the back there, but James Pearson made the gate, held his own down the back straight, and he's pulling away. Luke Killeen's moved into second place, Nicholls third. Can Luke do anything about James Pearson out front? He's going in a little bit higher, a little bit deeper maybe than James, with a lap to go. Yeah, Luke looks like he's catching. He's just got his back wheel on that grip, as you can see there. He's going to look to turn up, make a nice long straight, maybe go in a little bit deeper. A bit like what Chris Harris did earlier on. Nah, he's looking to cut back up the inside. No, well done James Pearson, win for Glasgow. Second place Luke Killeen. Third is Nicholls, and Tom Spencer probably feeling a little bit second hand, coming home in 4th place. So share of the spoils, 7-5, the progressive score. Good win for James Pearson for the away side. Second place Luke Killeen, third was Nicholls, 4th was Tom Spencer. Just cut adrift away a little bit there, Tom. Probably feeling the effects of that crash. So a 3-3 scoreline here, we can see it from the start again. Not so much of an even break as it was last time. A little bit more jag, but James Pearson made the inside, but Connor made a great start, Nicholls from the outside. And I just didn't know whether he was going to get a run down the back straight here, but James Pearson got his wheels in line and then just pulled away and took control of that third turn. And that essentially set the tone of the race, and away he went. Unchallenged then for the rest of the heat. Luke Killeen did go from third into second, just to move up and try and challenge James Pearson, but it was maybe just a lap too late, and he wasn't able to get up to land the blow. So you may have heard me say Leicester a moment ago, and that's because I was looking at Tom Spencer's leathers, Kevlars. That's what that was about. Sorry everybody. Easy mistake to make up. Okay, 2 minutes already on for heat number 3. We are 7-5 to the home side here. And it's an interesting heat, this one. The engine room of the teams, 3 and 4. It's going to be interesting to see a couple of a new face for us here. Jordan Jenkins, he's going to go off the inside for Oxford in blue. Anders Rowe has been performing really well at this circuit. He's going to go off of gate number 2 in white for Glasgow. Ashton BOUGHEN, he's going to be in red off of gate number 3, birthday boy today. And then Matic IVACIC, first time here, he's going off of the outside in yellow for the GLASGOW Tigers. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes here. He won a big meeting yesterday in Poland, which had the likes of Niels Christian Iversen, Patrick Wojalo. There was a couple of big names in that meeting, and he did well to win that. So he's on form, he's riding well. It'll be interesting to see how he does here. So it's 7-5. We've had a win from gate 1 and we've had a win from gate 3. So let's see what this race brings. Ashton BOUGHEN, Jordan Jenkins, Anders Rowe, Matic IVACIC, away we go. Takes go up. Anders Rowe's made a great gate and got over the top of Jordan Jenkins there. Ashton BOUGHEN's gone in a bit deep, he's in 3rd place. Matic probably just a bit cautious, first time at this track, he's at the back, he's probably just going to take a race to get the feel for the track, but nothing needed from Anders Rowe out front. He made a great gate, he's got himself out front. He's got a bit of fresh air between him and the 2 Cheetahs chasing him down, and looking good out front. Ashton BOUGHEN's got loads of speed, Ashton, and he's really starting to move up on Anders Rowe here. He's just riding a wider line than Anders is, and he's putting his back wheel a little bit further out. He's working on 3 and 4, more so than 1 on 2 for Ashton. We'll see him here, he's going in a bit deeper, he's getting that run around the outside. Anders moved over, lap to go. Anders Rowe, Ashton BOUGHEN, Jordan Jenkins. IVACIC's just dropped off a little bit there at the back. Can Anders Rowe keep himself out front and take the victory for Glasgow? One more try from Ashton BOUGHEN, he's putting it out wide again. Will he get the run? Oh, Anders Rowe closed the door. It's a great effort from Ashton BOUGHEN there, but well done Anders Rowe on the win. Ashton BOUGHEN in 2nd, Jordan Jenkins 3rd, and Matic IVACIC first visit here, probably just going to take a race to get himself au fait with this circuit. But a good win there for Anders Rowe. Made the gate and got over the top of Jordan Jenkins with the win. Ashton BOUGHEN in second, Jordan Jenkins third, Matic IVACIC in yellow in fourth. 3-3 scoreline, 10-8 Oxford over Glasgow. Here we can see it from the start. Anders Rowe makes a great gate and just gets over the top of Jordan Jenkins. That means he can boss that first 2 turns and boss the curb. Gets his wheels in line. Ashton BOUGHEN was just riding a wider line than everybody else and just built his speed up over the course of the 2 or 3 laps preceding the last one, and got himself within touching distance of Anders. To be fair, he got himself round the outside of Jordan there, and he just kept winding it up, using that outside line, back wheel in the dirt. You can see there he's a fair old distance behind Anders. It showed that Ashton has got the speed, and whereas Anders is kind of cutting 4 off there and moving up the inside to go across track, Ashton's got his back wheel out a little bit wider in that deep stuff, and it's working for him. But a win there off of gate 2. So this circuit this track never fails to give us game winners. We've got another minute and a half. Let's see the conclusion of this, because this is where Ashton goes deeper here, makes a nice long back straight for himself. He gets his wheels in line, and again you think at this point Anders has got the race done and dusted, but Ashton just goes in deeper, bit hotter, bit faster around that wide line. I don't think Anders knew he was coming there, but Anders just drifted off, shut the door. So a great race from those two. Well done for both boys, giving us an entertaining race. And it was another 3-3, which means we've got a 10-8 scoreline as we move into heat number 4. We're going to see Nicholls again. It's supposed to be Tom Spencer. We're still waiting. Yeah, I think it's going to be Tom. I can see him coming out from the pits. So they'll both be out for their second outings. There we go. Off the inside in blue will be Nicholls. Next to him will be Tom Spencer in yellow for the Glasgow Tigers. And then the bigger name, Scotty Nicholls, he'll be in red off of gate number 3. And Leon Flint, he will be in white off of gate number 4 for the Glasgow Tigers. So potentially again this could turn into 2 separate heats. The 2 boys on the inside, the 2 boys on the outside. We've got a gate winner off of 1, 2 and 3. And Leon Flint make it off of 4 and give us a full house. And Scott Nicholls make that gate and get himself out front. Here we go, heat number 4. Great start from Scott Nicholls, but also Nicholls off the inside. Great gate from Nicholls. Scott will go round the outside. Connor's hugging that curb on the inside. We've got a race on. Leon Flint currently in 3rd place, looking to put a nice early move on Nicholls, and he's done that brilliantly. Round the outside into 2nd from Leon Flint. Scott Nicholls out front, Leon Flint 2nd. Nicholls on the back wheel of Leon Flint, with Tom Spencer again just cut adrift a little bit there at the back. But Scott Nicholls made the gate along with Nicholls, and you'd imagine this race is done and dusted. Scott just riding nice and sensible, nice mid-track, drifting out to kiss the dirt on the outside of turn 2. Just stretched out a little bit this one as we go into the last lap. Scott Nicholls, Leon Flint, Nicholls, Tom Spencer, 1 lap to go. Barring any mechanical failure or any slip off, that is how this race is going to finish. It's going to be another heat advantage to the home side. A win for Scott Nicholls, takes the flag for him. 2nd place Leon Flint, Nicholls in 3rd, and Tom Spencer battling away at the back there but unable to get up to get in amongst the scorers. But Nicholls, he certainly did. He made Leon Flint work for that 2nd place early on. But Leon making that outside run work. Scotty Nicholls with the win for Oxford. 2nd place Leon Flint for Glasgow. Nicholls with 3rd. And Tom Spencer at the back. So a 4-2 scoreline, 2nd one of the evening. Means we've got a 14-10 scoreline. Here we can see it from the start again. It was a great start from the Cheetahs pair. Scott mid-track, Nicholls on the inside here. Scott just has a look here, you can see him. Yep, has a little glance, see his teammate there. But again, it's hard to defend when you know you've got your essentially one of your top riders in your side in your reserve. Unless that reserve is on the pace, it's tough to team ride. And Leon Flint had the speed, rode the line, went wider, got himself in that dirt, moved around the outside of Connor, and then secured 2nd place. And again, I think Tom, credit to Tom Spencer. He's out there working hard, trying hard. He's not a million miles off the pace, but it's always going to be a step up for him at this level. But that'll be 2 of his. I imagine he'll have 3 rides, and James Pearson will potentially take the extra ride there as the evening goes on, we will see how that develops. But we are 14-10 as we stand. That was nicely done as we faded Scott Nicholls out there, coming into turn 1. There's some stats for us, the points. A couple of winners off the inside, 2 off of gate 3 at the moment, and nothing off of 4. So the inside 3 places, you know, gate 4's proving tricky at the moment. And as the meeting develops, what you'll find is riders tend to ride over 4 more than they ride over any of the other starting gates, so that can go off a little bit. So that might be the place not to be for this evening's meeting. But yeah, we've had winners off all the others. We've seen good gates off of all those 3. You can see the Oxford links at the bottom of the screen there. Keep tabs on what's going on with Oxford, whether it's the Chargers, the Spies, the Cheetahs, Facebook. I'm still calling it Twitter, even though there's an X, Instagram, and obviously the club's official website. Plenty of Speedway here. We're back here on Sunday for the Chargers as they host Leicester in that winner-takes-all National League meeting, really, because they're the 2 at the top of the table. Luke Killeen, the man you can see there on screen with Ashton BOUGHEN, he'll be in that meeting. He'll lead the Chargers charge in a meeting there. Yeah, they've really got to win that one if they're going to push Leicester all the way to the title. So things pretty even here so far. We've had a couple of winners in Sam Masters and Scott Nicholls for the home side. We've had a couple of heat winners in Anders Rowe and James Pearson for the away side. So heat win split. So potentially going to have a little bit of track work just for a moment. Again, another good crowd in here at Oxford. It's great you're joining us on the stream. If you can't get to track, this is the second best place to be. Another great crowd, good to see. The club being well supported at all 3 levels. So 2 third places for Connor Coles. That's solid for me. If he can get another one, if he can get those 3 points, is what, you know, the minimum you'd want from a, you know, especially a reserve that's guesting for you. It's not his regular track. That would be a good effort from him. Yeah, meeting that Glasgow have got to win, and Oxford want to win, just to try and cement their place in the playoffs. So yeah, just reflect back on that victory they had at Poole. First team to win at Poole in how many meetings? An incredible run that Poole had. But Oxford went there, and a real team effort. Peter Schroeck spoke to him earlier on, said it was just a collective superb effort. Every one of the riders chipped in, both on and off the track, and he was really pleased to take the points away from there, which does give them the opportunity to finish top of the league this season. That's the driver. Obviously, when we get into the playoffs, everything goes back to scratch and to 0. But if you can finish top of the league, you are laying a marker down for everybody else. Comes tractor, and with a bit of an issue with it, couldn't get it going, but they have now, so they're just going to come out and do a little bit of track work. Yeah. Chris, the referee, just popped in to tell us that was indeed the case. The tractor broken down, so we're all waiting for him to get it going, which he has, so he can enjoy the tractor for a few laps. So Poole have got a couple of meetings to go. They've got 2 till they finish their regular programme. They're on 28 points. Cheetahs with still 4 meetings to go on 23 points, so there is a big opportunity there for Oxford to get up and challenge Poole for that top spot. We've got Scunthorpe in 3rd on 23 also, but they've only got 1 meeting left to go. Workington, they've just got the 1 meeting left to go as well. And in Glasgow, they've got 4. So it is really Oxford and Glasgow that can can make any changes in this playoff picture. Whichever way it goes, it's been a mixed season. Yeah, Edinburgh and Berwick and Plymouth have been adrift a little bit. I think Redcar's been a surprise to many. Start of the season, we thought they might have a good season, but hasn't really panned out for them. So they'll take great credit for winning the pairs here. Second time they've won the pairs in the last 3 years. It's a competition they like and enjoy. And they've got a big top two like they have. Anything is possible. So we'll just no water going down. Doesn't necessarily need to be any water. I think it's not as hot as it's been, so the moisture will stay in the track a bit more rather than it drying out on a hot night, which we've had here on many occasions. I think this is the calmest day I've had here. We've either been here and it's been roasting hot, or we've been here and it's been wet and heavy. So this is the first night that I think I've been here where it's just been pretty normal, pretty standard. Just help the guys preparing the track. You'll just see a line building up. They're working on the outside of the track here, and it's a tough one because you know you've got Chris Harris in their ranks, and he's going to love that outside line. If you put one out there, he's going to use it, as he does for the Spires. And you know, when he's visited here over the last couple of years, he's always given a spectacular speedway. It doesn't look like we're going to get the Bowser, so it just will be a bit of a grade before we move into the second bank of 4 heats. We're going to see Ashton BOUGHEN and Jordan Jenkins out again. They were on the wrong end of an Anders Rowe win in heat number 3. And they're going to go up against Chris Harris, who had a superb second place around the outside of Cam Heeps in his first one. And Jack Smith, and yeah, Jack's really impressed me. He came in and he's holding his own and he's scoring points, especially at home for Glasgow. And he's been a good rider for them this season. Obviously had a couple of early changes to their lineup due to one thing or another. So they haven't had a settled side that they'd like to have done to defend their title. Hasn't really gone their way. But Glasgow have still got the outside chance of getting in there and getting amongst the playoffs. One more lap from the track tap, which is good. Jamie Courtney having his moment, getting some laps in. Always a fair track this, I find. Away riders like coming here. Most of the guys I speak to, they enjoy the track. It's a fair racing track. We've seen that by the amount of last heat deciders we've had here. Whether it be the Cheetahs or the Spires, it's always been close, especially the Spires. A number of last heat deciders, which is great from a spectator point of view, great from a viewing point of view. Terrible for Peter Schroeck and his fingernails. But that's given us some close racing here, and you know, you've got to take your hat off to everybody connected with Oxford for the work they do, the effort they put in to run 3 sides, engage with the people locally, and their sponsors as well. So that's track grading done. You can see a couple of the Cheetahs there leaning over the fence, and Leon Flint as well, just checking out the changes. So the 2 lads you can see on the edge there with the caps on looking over the fence, that's Declan Killeen. Sorry Dec, I was just checking, getting your first name right. Yeah, Senna Summers and Declan Killeen. So that's Luke's brother there, and Senna Summers, the son of Aaron Summers, former rider. They'll both be in action. They're the reserve pairing for the Chargers on Sunday when they host Leicester. But Declan's been with Luke for the last few weeks on spanners around tracks. I dare say he's put a few laps in as well. He'll be looking forward to getting on track. That's our 2 minutes from Chris DURNO. we move neatly on to heat number 5. 14-10, 4-point advantage at the moment for the home side. They'll be happy with that at this stage. But with Chris Harris coming out in this one, it's a big ask for Ashton BOUGHEN and Jordan Jenkins. They're going to find themselves off of 2 and 4. Jordan that's going to find himself off of 4. There's been not a lot of luck out there so far, a few points, but no race winners. We see them come right up against, as the meeting develops, they come right up against the fence. Jordan's not, as you can see there from the shot, he's in on the inside of his gate position really, middle to inside. Whether he'll move to the outside we'll soon see. So here we go, here's your lineup for heat number 5. Jack Smith to the inside in yellow for Glasgow. Next to him will be Ashton BOUGHEN in red for the home side. Chris Harris, second place first time out, he'll be off gate 3 in white for the Glasgow Tigers, and Jordan Jenkins, 1 point in his opening ride, he's going to be in blue off of gate number 4. Ashton BOUGHEN, he's happy with his gate, not doing much work. Jack Smith doing a bit more there on the inside, trying to find the best line to take from tapes. Chris Harris, he'll be looking to stem the flow here. He'll be looking to win this one, to keep it at 4 points, and Jack Smith can make the gate, he could potentially get in amongst Jordan and Ashton. Let's see what heat number 5 brings. Takes up and away we go. Chris Harris has made a blind and Jack Smith made a good start off the inside, but will the Cheetahs get the run around him? Looks like Jordan Jenkins will. Ashton BOUGHEN's just dropped away a little bit there, but he's going to put it in deeper to see if he can get a run like he did earlier on. But Chris Harris made the gate, and Ashton BOUGHEN's done just that. He's round the outside of Jack Smith nice and early. That's caused Jack Smith just to lock up and slide off at the back there. But it looks like he will get back to his feet and get his bike off the track. Chris Harris out front, Jordan Jenkins in second, Ashton BOUGHEN in third. Looking like it's going to be a 3-3 scoreline in this one to keep the gap at 4. Chris made a great gate, and Jack Smith actually made the gate as well. He was in the mix in that first lap. Ashton BOUGHEN took the outside line, as you've seen a couple of the boys do already. Got himself up around the outside, just causing Jack just to lose a little bit of control and slide off. Do you know what, Jordan Jenkins hasn't let Chris Harris get away from him. He's not close enough to land the blow, but he's definitely kept him honest in this one. Win for Chris Harris, second for Jordan Jenkins, third for Ashton BOUGHEN. And a DNF did not finish for Jack Smith there as he slipped off. Got his bike, knowing his teammate was out front, winning the heat, got his bike off track. He's riding it back now off the centre green, so nothing wrong with the bike, nothing wrong with him. Chris Harris with the win for Glasgow, second place Jordan Jenkins, third was Ashton BOUGHEN, who got himself up over the top of Jack Smith, who slipped off and didn't finish the race. So a 3-3 scoreline keeps that 4-point gap. Oxford 17, Glasgow 13. Here we can see, just keep an eye on Jack Smith off the inside, because he makes the gate along with his teammate Chris Harris. He's got that curb there. Ashton BOUGHEN's just over the top of him. Jordan Jenkins then comes round the outside of Jack, which you can do here when you get that run around the outside. But again, here's the move from Ashton BOUGHEN. He just rides it in a little bit deeper, a little bit higher. He gets that run around the outside. We might catch it here, just as he didn't drop it on him, but as he turns his line, Jack just drifts across, slides off. No damage done, but that was the end of his race. Ashton BOUGHEN was far enough back just to consolidate with his third, and Jordan Jenkins kept on the pace of Chris, but when Chris is out front he can choose where he wants to go, and was never troubled. 5 points from his first 2 rides, Chris Harris. It looks like we are going to get a little bit of water now. Yeah, Jordan's keeper, he kept on his tail. Chris was out front. Jordan's not a million miles away. Chris tends not to make mistakes, but if he had made any, Jordan would have been close enough to potentially get in amongst it. But yeah, tapes the flag for Chris. Winner out front, Chris Harris. Jordan Jenkins there with the second, and Ashton BOUGHEN did his work early to take his third place. So 3 points apiece for Ashton and Jordan in that engine room at that side there. Be a couple of heats until we see Anders Rowe and Matic IVACIC again to to see whether they can hit back a little bit. But 17-13. In the next one, we are going to see Sam Masters and Cam Heeps. They've been a dynamite pairing at home, those two, this season. They've rattled off 5-1 after 5-1. And that was on the cards in Heat 1 until Chris Harris did what Chris Harris did and got around the outside of Cam to take second place. And that's a strong pairing, and they're up against Leon Flint and James Pearson, who have both won. James Pearson won his first outing. It was a second place for Leon Flint. So 4 riders that have all got on the score chart in their first rides. We'll see how that race pans out once we've got a bit of water down. So we've got the guys raking, just dragging the dirt off the base of the fence back into the track, and it looks like we're just getting a bit of water on the top of that, just as if we can't give it a bit of a wider racing line. But we've seen Chris Harris use it, we've seen Ashton BOUGHEN use it. There is a run around 4 if you're prepared to go out there and ride that wider line. There is something out there that you can use. Both those boys have used it, and very much to their advantage to get themselves in higher scoring positions. So a good night. I imagine Oxford will be relatively happy at this stage. But with only 4 points, they're not really pulling away at the moment from Glasgow. But it is these heats when you've got Sam Masters coming in, you've got Scott Nicholls in the next one, Cam Heeps then comes back out in the next one. That's when you get those names coming out as an away rider. You know, you've got to ride well to beat those top riders for the home side who have got that home track knowledge. But if they can just keep it close, get to Heat 8. I think Heat 8's a big turning point in a meeting for me. I anticipate we'll see a rider change in Heat 8. Tom Spencer, I think we'll probably see James Pearson come in for Tom Spencer in Heat 8. We'll see that. And in the other fixture we've got this evening, Paul 15, Workington 9 at this stage. Early on in that meeting, win for Richard Lawson. Ben Cook taking the flag, Tom Brennan taking the flag. Only Paul Stark in Heat 2 getting the win for the away side. So yeah, 15-9. Kind of anticipate that Paul will take the victory in that one, but Workington have had a good season back at that level of racing. They've done extremely well. And again, they've had injuries themselves. Tate Zitschke, they lost. And just to shout out, because Jason Garrett was an Oxford Charger this season, was riding really well at home, Jason. Then he got a great move up to Glasgow in the championship, and he should be in the reserves for them, but had an awful crash and a nasty injury which has finished his season, which is a real shame for both the Chargers in the National League, but also for Glasgow, who were giving Jason the opportunity up there. They made a switch, and in the very next meeting he got the injury, and that ruled him out. So yeah, Jason, if you're watching, mate, wish you all the best. Shame to see your season finish the way it did. It's when you got the opportunity to ride, which I know you've been looking for in the championship. So the riders making their way out. You can see there on screen in the yellow helmet colour, that is Tom Spencer, so he's going to be coming into this one for James Pearson. We can see Leon Flint, we can see Cam Heeps, we can see Sam Masters, so the one change will be Tom Spencer. And again, it's a tough heat for Tom, you know. There's very little expected of him when you come in as a guest, a National League rider in as a guest. And you come to a track like this, you're not going to get any easy races. And to come off in your first one, take a bang, it's a tough ask. And when you look at this heat, you know, he's up against Sam Masters, Cameron Heeps and Leon Flint. It's a big ask, but I imagine that switch there is to play away for heat number 8, when we'll see James come in for Tom, which is a wise move to make. But I think for Tom Spencer, he'll be looking at this as an opportunity to get some track time before coming back here on Sunday, and that's what he can get out of the meeting if he doesn't pick up any points. So 2 minutes are on. Chris DURNO calling for the riders to get round to tapes. 17:30, just a 4-point gap. Can they increase that in this one, Oxford? They'll be hoping to, that's for sure. Can Leon Flint make the gate? Had 3 race winners off of gate 3, which Cam Heeps finds himself in. Leon Flint finds himself off of 2, which was won by Anders Rowe in heat number 3, so he has made the gate off of 2. So here we go, runners for heat number 6. Sam Masters in red off the inside for Oxford. Next to him will be Leon Flint in white for Glasgow. Cameron Heeps in blue off of gate number 3. And Tom Spencer, reserve substitute ride for James Pearson, he will be in yellow off of the outside for the Tigers. 17-13, 4-point gap. I'd love to think Tom Spencer could make the gate and get amongst it here, but I think Leon Flint is the man that's gonna try and hold on to the Cheetahs here. But in the pairing of Sam Masters and Cameron Heeps, that is a strong pairing. We've seen them do it time and again. A bit more work at the start than we've had in the last couple of heats. Leon Flint on the inside of his gate there. He's pretty close to Sam Masters, is Leon. He's still doing a bit more work. Still got 35 odd seconds until they've got to be at tapes. Start marshal just calling both Sam and Leon back in. Cam is ready, as is Tom Spencer. So here we go, heat number 6, 17-13, favour of Oxford. Takes up and away we go. That's a great start from both the Cheetahs. Sam Masters off of 1, Cam Heeps off of 3, but Cam's gone a bit deep and Leon's rode a really nice line, Leon Flint, to get at the inside, just hugged the curb a little bit and rode an inside line. But here comes Cam, he's put a big move in around the outside. Cameron Heeps, great move around the outside of Leon Flint. That line around 4 really is working if you're prepared and brave enough to get yourself out there. I don't think Leon saw that coming, to be honest. He didn't move out, didn't shut the door. And Cam Heeps, he's done it time and again this season. But Leon's keeping him honest, he's inside now, looking up the inside. Cam's just locked up a tiny bit. Will that give Leon the run? Nah, Cam takes control back into turns 3 and 4 with a lap to go. Sam Masters, Cameron Heeps, they're 1 and 2. Leon Flint battling away in 3rd place. Leon trying to get himself up into 2nd. He's made Cam work really hard since Cam's got in front of him. What can he do on the last lap? Anything? No. Sam Masters, Cameron Heeps, 5-1 over Leon Flint. And Tom Spencer there. Tough heat for Tom. Nothing really expected of him in that one, but fair play to Cam Heeps and Leon Flint. They gave us a good heat there. Sam Masters tapes the flag, made the gate, disappeared. Cam made a great gate, but Cam went wide. We'll watch it again. Cam went wide on those first 2 turns, and that allowed Leon up the inside. It gave us an entertaining race, but another 5-1 for these two. We've seen it before. Sam Masters with the win, Cameron Heeps 2nd, Leon Flint in 3rd, Tom Spencer in 4th. A 5-1 to the home side. That now extends to 22-14. Here we can see it from the start again. Just keep an eye. Look, you can see there both the Cheetahs made a great gate, but Leon just hugs that inside line a bit more. Cam goes a bit deep and just drifts across a little bit. Doesn't get that forward traction, but what it does do is give him a really long back straight. And he puts it out there. We've seen Chris Harris and Ashton BOUGHEN do it so far. Cam follows suit with a great line around the outside. Took Leon Flint by surprise, I'm sure. Then once Cam got his wheels in line, got himself into 2nd place. Sam Masters has gone here. He's got the race in the bag. But Leon Flint didn't give up. Kept working hard. He was working that inside line a little bit more. Cam was drifting across. And he made Cam work for the full 4 laps. But he did hold on, and it is a big 5-1. That now extends the lead, 22-14. There you can see Connor Coles on screen. Connor wasn't due out in this one, but he is now. He's coming for Luke Killeen. So he will join Scott Nicholls. He will take up position on gate number 4. No winners out there, unfortunately, Connor so far. Let's see how you get on. So we're going to see Anders Rowe again. He's going to be off the inside in white, winner first time out. Anders, he'll be looking to repeat that, that's for sure. Next to him, Scott Nicholls, winner first time out. He's going to be in red off of gate number 2. Matic IVACIC, no points first time out, but learning the track as he was going. He's going to be in yellow for Glasgow off of gate number 3. And Connor Coles, reserve substitute, 2 paid 3 for Connor so far. That's a decent return for a guest reserve. He will be in blue off of gate number 4. So a couple of heat winners in this one. Battle off the inside. Scott will be hoping to make the gate and get across Anders Rowe. and just clamp him on that curb. It was another win off of gate number 1 in that last heat for Sam Masters. So 1 and 3 are the prominent gates at the moment. We've had nothing off of 4. And we have had 1 win, which was Anders Rowe off of 2. So yeah, Connor's got his work cut out here off of gate number 4. Matic IVACIC was very cautious in his first ride, understandably so when you go to a new track, new setup. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes this time, whether he's going to have learned from that, made any changes. So here we go, heat number 7, 22.14. Takes up and away we go, and Anders Rowe's made a good gate off of 1, as a Scott off of 2. Connor Coles has come from 4 as well to get over the top of IVACIC and into 3rd place, but Anders Rowe made a great gate, as he's done here the last couple of meetings he's been here, and he's got himself out front, but Scott Nicholls will chase. We know that, but Anders Rowe does look fast. He looks good, he's riding a good line. He's got his back wheel pretty much where Scott Nicholls wants to go. So Scott's going to have to do something a bit different. Anders is riding a bit wider on that line, and Scott's going to have to go really deep. He's reeling him in a little bit. Connor Coles is currently in 3rd, IVACIC is in 4th. Here comes Scott, keep an eye. Looking at the inside, just not this time. He's got another lap and a bit to go. He's gone deeper, but Anders Rowe is riding that wide line. We have got a big last lap here. Anders Rowe and Scott Nicholls. Scott goes a little bit deeper, but Anders is riding the line that Scott wants to take. I think that's the difference, but he's looked at the inside here. Yeah, Anders has moved over. Will he cut back? Anders Rowe on a run to the line. Whoa, Scott Nicholls, well done. Complete change of line, change of tact from Scott Nicholls there on bends 4 to come up the inside of Anders Rowe. Connor Coles in the battle there did take 3rd place. That's a really solid 3rd place for Connor Coles, and Matic IVACIC there was in 4th. Another last place for him, but a great ride out front. Scott Nicholls and Anders Rowe giving us something to shout about. Win for Scott Nicholls in red, Anders Rowe 2nd for Glasgow. Connor Coles, important 3rd place for him, and Matic IVACIC at the back. So it was a 4-2 to Oxford. That makes it 26-16, 10-point gap now. We can see it from the start. It was the 2 on the inside that made the gate, but Connor made a great gate from 4. And right here was level pegging with Scott, but Scott got to the middle of that turn first. Connor then just could consolidate and know that the 3rd place for hit was his. And Anders Rowe here looks super fast and was riding a great line, but Scott, as Scott Nicholls does, worked the track, worked the space, worked the different lines, and just kept pegging away. We can see Scotty's drifting up there towards the fence to 4 to get that drive down the back straight. And for 3.5 laps, Anders Rowe was basically riding the line that Scott Nicholls wanted to take. So he was defending really, really well. But when you've got Scott Nicholls behind you, you just know that he can, turn it on a sixpence and change his line, which he did. Hopefully we can see the full duration of this race and get that last lap replay for you. Yeah, Scott's probing away here, and for Anders, fair play, because you've got a rider of Scott's experience and quality all over the back of you. You don't know whether to stick, but keep an eye on Scott here. He goes in a bit deeper like he'd done, gets a nice long one. Anders just drifted across turn 2 just a tiny bit there. Maybe that just gave Scott the opportunity, but then Anders there caught himself out really. He was the one that put himself off of that racing line and rode differently than he'd done to the 3 laps before, and that is what gave Scott that chance to turn up the inside and get the run and get the win. Excellent win for Scott Nicholls. Solid 2nd place for Anders Rowe. So we are going to see Luke Killeen come out here in blue. It will be Luke Killeen. It will be James Pearson. There we go. Reserve substitutes on the inside. James Pearson in yellow for Glasgow. Reserve substitute Luke Killeen in blue for Connor Coles. Jack Smith off of gate 3 in white, and Cam Heeps in red off of gate number 4. 26-16, 10-point gap. Cam Brown will really be hoping that James Pearson and Jack Smith can get in amongst it here and potentially get a heat advantage, but in Cameron Heeps, they've got a guy who's riding this track really, really well at the moment. He is coming off of that gate 4 where we've had nothing yet. What can you give us, Cam? Can you give us a race winner off of 4? It was gate 2 in the last one, but again, not from tape. Scott had to work really hard to get that win in that last race. So Cam Heeps, Luke Killeen, James Pearson, Jack Smith. There we go. Just filling in my program. Just making a change to my program.
So heat number 8, always a telling point in the meeting for me. You obviously can't do any tactical rides or anything like that in this heat. It has to run with a reserve. So you can't bring a big hitter into this one to try and eat into that 10-point deficit. We are Cameron Heeps, Luke Killeen, Jack Smith, James Pearson, heat number 8. Takes up, Chris DURNO gets us underway, and it's a good gate off from number 2 from Luke Killeen, but keep an eye on Jack Smith around the outside. Oh, Cam Heeps moves him aside and into 3rd place. No. 3 down of 4. Domino effect there off the inside. Jack Smith, the only one who managed to miss that. I'm going to need to see that again, but I think it was James Pearson got into trouble. He went into Luke Killeen, who then moved out towards the fence. And Cam Heeps had nowhere to go. Our thoughts at the moment are with Luke Killeen, who is down. Yeah, I think it was James who rode a tight line and just the domino effect across the track. And it was Luke Killeen that took the brunt of it. We hope he's okay. Nasty looking fall. James Pearson has been up on his feet. He did walk across to check on Luke Killeen, and he's now walked back and let himself down again on the track. Cam Heeps is the only one within the 3-man incident that is up. Jordan Jenkins just riding Luke Killeen's bike back to the pits. So the attention and the worry at the moment is around Luke Killeen. He is still down, he's got the paramedics with him, handful of teammates. Cam Heeps is still there. James Pearson has hit the deck again. He's just led down with the paramedic as well. I'm not sure. So yeah, we'll just keep the camera on the pits for the moment. We don't want to pan back to riders while they're led on the track. So our thoughts at the minute with James Pearson, who I think is on his feet now, which is great. James Pearson is back up again. So Luke Killeen is the man that we're hoping is okay. Did take the brunt of the fall. He took James Pearson from one side and that pushed him out to the fence, and Cam came around the outside, and I don't know whether Cam collected him as he was moving around the outside or not. It was a shame because that was developing into a good heat, that one. Cam Heeps had missed the gate and was having to battle his way through the crowd to get himself back up to the front. It looks like they're going to take this opportunity to grade. Water Bowser's come out. So yeah, let's hope that Luke is alright. He's got a busy schedule coming up, Luke. He's still got the Spires meetings to come. He's got a few more with the Chargers and the Cheetahs. This is not what the Oxford management are going to want to see, especially as they're struggling at the moment with the number 7. Connor Cole's coming in tonight, but fair play to Connor Cole's tonight. He's got three third places, which is a great return. And he's got paid in there as well, so paid 4 points. So there you can see on screen Cameron Heeps walking back, James Pearson, which is good to see. And there's Jason Garrett. He's not watching with us because he's on screen there in the red coat. I think that's Jason. Obviously got a foot in both camps. Yeah, that looks like Jason. Unfortunately picked up that injury that's ruled his season out. So yeah, they're just assessing Luke at the moment. He's still down on track. It's a real shame that's developing into a really good heat, that one. Probably would have covered all 4 laps. And it was possibly the two in Luke Killeen and Jack Smith out front. So unfortunately I am seeing an ambulance coming out onto the track. Let's hope that's more precautionary than anything.
we'll just get a bit of a delay here. They're obviously going to have to rerun the heat. I imagine it's going to be James Pearson that will be excluded from that one. It looks like Luke Killeen won't be able to take his place, so we will see Connor Coles back in. As Luke was not the cause of the stoppage. It's potentially looking more precautionary than anything. Peter Schroeck's with him. I can see Jordan Jenkins there as well. So it does mean that we'll probably just get a bit of an unexpected break here. They'll probably grade and get some water down into the surface. You can already see the graders have been out and done a bit of work. But it's a 10-point gap. Oxford have suddenly hammered in. 5-1 and a 4-2 in the last two heats. It's done the damage. And like I was talking to when Cami Brown was talking to me earlier on, he said, look, you know, this is a hard place to come and get a victory, so we're aiming for that, but if we don't get that, we just want to keep it close. And it's at this point now where someone's got to give for Glasgow. Hopefully James Pearson is all right for them. You know, we obviously want everybody to be okay, because he could be an important part of that fight back for them. And if Luke Killeen's out for the meeting, we're going to see a busy Connor Coles as well. Give a shout out to Jake Barrett, who's watching us tonight. Hello Jake, hope you got your feet up, cup of tea, enjoying the Speedway. Unfortunate couple of incidents we've had there, mate, but sadly is par for the course. Hope you're keeping all right, buddy. Sure we'll catch up with you at some point. So Luke's still down, still got a bit of activity around Luke. And I'm obviously a distance away, but nothing, no one's overly panicking, which is, you know, but we'll hopefully get a report in on Luke in a bit. And find out how he is, but I think we can say that his night is done here. In a good second place in his first outing. Chance to get the kettle on, grab myself another drink out the fridge, just while we have this bit of a stoppage. Really unfortunate. As long as everybody's okay, we'll give you a replay, but we won't do that until we know that everyone is, you know, in the main okay. But I think it was James just coming up the inside that seemed to get into trouble. A couple of bikes being warmed up in the pits. It's hard when it's the air temperature has definitely dropped off. It's cooler evening than it's been, and when you get a long break like this, you know, the bikes are just sat in the pits. So essentially you have to, you know, from the bike's point of view, is start the meeting again, give it a warm up. And it's just difficult for the riders as well. Yeah, I was just trying to listen in, see there if I could catch what was being said, but I couldn't actually hear it. It looks like we're going to get Luke on a stretcher into the back of the ambulance, so we send him our very best. We hope, like we said, that is more precautionary than anything, and that it's nothing serious for him. Really come on leaps and bounds this year, Luke. Great personality, lovely guy, Luke. Always chatty in the pits, comes and says hello. Enjoys talking about what he's been up to. He's racing and has done exceptionally well to get himself into the Spies team as well this season. Testimony to the strides he's made. So yeah, they're just lifting him up onto the stretcher, which is sad to see. We wish him all the best. So just while we've got this extended break, I am delighted to be joined by a man who is first off, lifelong friend, but he's a man tonight who's got another job. He's with our blast from the past meeting we've got in the second half, where we've got England against Scotland. Lee Ashby is going to be the manager. Have you been a manager before, mate?
Just trying to figure out which league we are.
Just underneath the National League, I think.
Okay.
Just.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah. Obviously, really excited.
It's good, eh? So how did it come about? I mean, just to bring you up to speed, just the ambulance is on track. We're just taking Luke off a track now, so we're going to have a bit of a break while they assist Luke, and we'll probably do a bit of track grading. So yeah, me and Lee will try and keep you entertained and keep you up to speed. So Bert Harkins is the Scotland manager. You're the England manager. What, did you just get a phone call? Well, to give you a bit of a background quickly, there's been two meetings so far. One at Berwick, one at Glasgow.
Yep.
I think
Glasgow first, then Berwick.
Yeah, Scotland have won one. There was a draw. So this is the third.
Yep.
So you need a win for English pride.
No pressure.
So yeah, did you just get a call to because it's a bit of fun, and these guys love showing off these old bikes, which are bikes that me and you watched for years when we were growing up.
Yeah, it's like amazing. Like Mark Anderson, who's helps organise it all together. He for this blast from the past.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just basically messaged me and said that he would like me to come and do it. And obviously, I thought he was trying to get hold of you to start with.
People do get me and Lee confused.
Oh God, yeah, so badly, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to double barrel our surnames.
Yeah, literally.
Ashby Kilby and Kilby Ashby.
So for anybody listening, obviously my dad Bob Kilby used to ride for Swindon, and Lee's dad David, who's part of the famous Ashby brothers, David and Martin. Lee's dad used to race for Swindon, so dads rode together at the same time. So essentially, we were born like a couple of months apart.
Yep.
We grew up together, both called Lee.
Yep.
For the whole of our lives. I've been you at certain times. You've been me at certain times.
Yep.
I was in the Speedway Star last week as managing
Yep.
the blast from the past. I think you were presenting on BSM one week. Everyone gets us back to front.
Yep.
So it's great to see you doing it. I think
And your uncle as well about the photos.
Yeah, that's
apparently
right.
That was my dad taking the photos.
Yeah, that's right. So there's Luke just heading off. So we send him all the very best. We hope that is nothing overly serious, and it's more of a precaution than anything. And if we get an update before the end of the meet, we'll obviously pass that on. There's potentially people watching from back in Aussie watching Luke. So we send him all the best. But so yeah, what's the idea? 4 heats.
Yep, there's 4 heats, 4 riders from each team. Just have 2 rides each.
Get a couple of rides each.
So us being England need to win tonight, and then apparently there might be a golden heat to decide the series.
So if you lead England to victory tonight, we might get an extra bonus heat.
Sounds a bit bizarre, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's good though. It's great, and it's good that it's here. So yeah, you can join me for this, Lee. So this was the incident. We can see Luke out front there.
Yep.
So yeah, James just catches there, goes into Luke, throws him over the top, and Cam does exceptionally well to go around the outside and avoid him.
Not surely if there's an actual curb there, is it? But it looked like he sort of hit a version of it.
Yeah, he just seemed to get in trouble. We might try and catch that again in a minute. It just seemed to, because he was pretty comfortable in the position he was in, he just seemed to get in trouble a little bit, lock up tiny bit, catch something, and that just moved him across into Luke, who
Got
nowhere to go, domino effect. So yeah, just keep your eyes on yellow. Luke Killeen is out front in blue. Cam's made a move there on Jack Smith at the back, but just keep an eye on James Pearson here in yellow.
Yeah, it's like he hits something.
Some sort of rut or something.
Yeah,
on that stirrup,
straightens him up, and poor Luke's gone over there on the shoulder, on his neck, and Cam doesn't. I think the handlebar might have caught him as he went by. But Cam did exceptionally well to go around the outside of him. So yeah, racing incident happens a million times. It'll happen a million times more. We just hope that.
See, everyone's been talking about obviously Friday night at the Pairs and another incident of that.
That ended. Yeah. Did you come to the Pairs meeting?
Come to that,
How did you see it? How did you see the Nicholls and Wright?
Personally, I thought earlier on in the night, Mr. Ben Barker come across there and he clamped on Mr. Nicholls a lot harder.
He had a couple of looks. He had a couple of looks and then closed the door.
Scott wasn't too pleased with that, but at the end of the race, but yeah, I don't think there was a lot of bad in it. I don't think Nicholls was trying to take him to the fence, as it were. I think he was literally making a legitimate pass. You know what it's like now with these dirt deflectors, those few inches that you might have had a little bit more of a gap.
Yeah, makes a difference.
It's right there, clipped him. I don't think he was definitely not trying to take him out, for sure. So, just literally a cliche, I know, but I would say that was a racing accident. Wasn't any malice in that one.
Because I said that to the ref at the end. I said, look, is there any angle that you've got to put everyone back in or to exclude both? It's got to be someone's fault.
No,
and that's the problem. It's got to be someone's fault. And I personally, I could see it from both sides. If I was red car and Charles would exclude, I'd been like, hold on a minute, because Scott's just come up the inside, his foot comes off the footrest, he's in the way. Whereas Oxford block, Scott was in front, so it's his track. And Charles caught a bit of grip. It literally was one of those
it's
situations.
Sort of like you said, it sort of robs the fans a little bit of that ending that we all wanted to see. We want to see it, decided on the track, racing wise, not awarded.
100%.
I did actually speak to Peter, the manager, in the pits before I come round to join up with the lads, and he was saying about the thing with Mr. Wright, and they both ride for Oxford in different teams. He said so that was fun.
I'll bet.
Luckily, one's in the Spurs, one's in the Cheetahs.
It's the nature of it nowadays, isn't it? You know, your team, your opponent tonight is your teammate tomorrow.
Yep.
And again, years gone by, there was more riders, so you didn't have that. You just had a group of riders. You had some doubling up, obviously, but in the main, you rode in one league. Whereas now the boys are seeing each other all the time, racing against each other. It's a totally different mindset, isn't it?
Yep.
You know, you can't understand what it's like to be at the takes with you, riding together tonight, and then tomorrow I'm going to be riding you up to the fence because you're on the opposition team.
I've obviously been coming up to Oxford a bit more since obviously
it's good,
Swindon, and you go up in the pits, and like you said, I see Nicholls one night on the other side of the pits guesting for someone in the in the Premiership, and then obviously the next night he was riding with the Cheetahs at home, so it is bizarre. Quite hard to explain to the neutral maybe, but
it is. I've given up.
You've given up?
No, I haven't given up. I will always explain Speedway to a neutral.
Plays for Man United and Chelsea.
Look blankly at me back. Look blankly at me back. So I mean, it's great that you're doing this tonight. We're gonna show it as well. So if you stay with us for a couple of heats, that'd be great. And then you obviously have got to go over to pit side and do whatever it is you're going to do. That's brilliant though. I love it. But just talk us, because our stories are quite similar, in that we both grew up with racing dads. We both were just 100% Speedway. That's all we did and talked about for years. You did ride MX, didn't you? You rode motocross for a while, but you never... I've seen the pictures of you having a go at Speedway. But you had a go, didn't you? But you never made that step into Speedway.
Yeah, you're going to get my mum in trouble here.
I know.
She's
not watching, is she watching and listening? I hope not.
I'm not bitter or anything.
No.
Yeah, I had a go when I was 16. Wore the Ashby leathers.
Yeah.
In the Swindon practice track.
Yeah.
Took to it straight away.
Yeah.
Dad was like, because it was like quite slick, and then some wet patches, like, take it easy. Just went straight in. Lovely. Ran it till it ran out of fuel. Obviously, I was used to 20-minute races at motocross.
Yeah.
And to me, it felt like obviously a billiard table compared to how rough it was at motocross, so I loved it. Quite bored in the end when I wasn't racing anyone. And of course, there was back then. Obviously, there was Ted Nelson, Bill Chandler were all there. They were like, "Oh, brilliant! 16 years old, another Ashby, sign him."
Yeah.
So I'm like buzzing, and then my mum's like, "Over my dead body."
It's not happening.
End of story. So yeah, that's been a bit of a thing. And to be fair, my dad took it to his grave, bless him, that he actually made that decision with my mum, but never told me.
Oh wow.
So I was always like mugging my mum off my whole life about a Speedway career. But yeah, Lee, at the end of the day, I went on and I did enjoy motocross. It was amazing to do that with Dad as my mechanic. We ended up winning a British schoolboy title as well.
Yeah,
so I remember, I was British champion, so it was like super cool. Won a lot of club championships and stuff like that. So yeah, we had an amazing time. packed it up quite early, and then yeah, that was it really. So
yeah, and you've kind of a bit like me, you know. And I never ventured on track.
Yeah,
but we've both amazingly been able to carve out a part of our lives in Speedway, which is just brilliant. And you've kind of started this motocross Speedway memories interviews, which has just boomed. I remember the first couple you did, and they were really good. And then all of a sudden you're sat with like Bruce Pennell and like Hans Nielsen. It's like, whoa!
I was as freaked as you, trust.
Where does this come? And I know what you're like. I bet you're sat there thinking, I'm just interviewing one of my absolute heroes here. It's just crazy. So I'll tell you what we'll do. You're going to stay with me, Lee.
Yep.
We are back out for the rerun of heat number 8.
Yep.
So I'll comment. You're going to co-comment with me.
Yep.
You've done this before?
No.
Fantastic.
Done Motocross, as you know.
Yeah,
Done the Motocross.
Yeah, it's no different. Just, you know, there's no jumps and less riders and.
Yeah, normally I would have been literally taking big gulps when I come up here, but obviously I've done a little bit of the motocross on TV and stuff like that, so that was obviously a bit of pressure.
So what we're going to see no James Pearson off the inside. He is the cause of the stoppage. He's going to be excluded. Connor Coles will be out for Luke Killeen. He'll be in blue off of gate number 2. Jack Smith, white off of gate number 3 for Glasgow, and Cameron Heeps in red off of gate number 4 for Oxford. We've got a minute till tapes are going to go up. We're 26:10. Heat number 8. You know, there's pressure now. There's a lot of pressure here on Jack Smith to get the win, because if Oxford can get anything out of this heat, they're just going to start pulling away with us, aren't they?
Yeah, 10 points down now. Jack's, like you said, he needs to win this just to keep it level in this race. So for a 3-3, so he's definitely under pressure here.
Yeah, and he's off of gate 3. We've had plenty of winners off of gate 3, so it's a decent gate to be on. Connor Coles has picked up 3 third places, so he's doing his bit for a reserve, and he's going to have a couple more rides now, of course. The injured Luke Killeen. But Cam, when he gets his wheels in line, Cam's so fast, and he'll be looking to make the gate. Not had a winner off of 4. I've said it a few times. The people are bored of me saying it. Are we going to see a winner with Cam? Here we go, rerun of heat number 8. Jack Smith made a great gate. He's got over the top of Connor Coles. But keep an eye on Cam Heeps. He's going to go big, he's going to go wide, he's going to go deep. He'll get a nice long back straight. Here he goes.
Here comes Heeps.
Gone in there big, but Connor went up the inside as well.
That's the one, Lee.
There's the ride.
Beautiful.
Great move from Cameron Heeps, Lee. Great move round the outside. You know what he was doing.
That's the line you need, Mr. Kilby. He took that outside. That's where you need to be. If you're going to be winning races out there this evening, you need to be out there. Jack's trying to cover the line now just to keep that second, but
yeah, Connor's keeping him on his toes. He's not drifting away here, Connor. No. Jack's going to have to. He literally did just there go across the corner a little bit, but Connor's buzzing around the back of Jack Smith. But Cameron Heeps, great line round turn 4. We've seen it a few times tonight. He's out front now. He's got fresh air. Jack Smith tucked nicely into second place. It looks like that is his. And again, it's another third place. I know it's unchallenged, but for Connor Coles. And it's another 4-2. They are going to edge away just that little bit more. Decent ride from Cameron there, Lee.
Yeah, another 4-2 to the home side there. They extend their advantage there. Pretty sure that makes it 12 points ahead, I believe.
Yeah, it does. They're just going to start creeping away a little bit.
When you, I was just thinking about Jack Smith because I was just over in the pits just a minute ago and obviously saw his dad, the legendary Andrew Smith. I thought, again, it must be hard for Jack.
Yeah.
You know, your dad's
in the shadow
3
of that.
British champion, I think it was.
Yeah, well, he's picked up a second place there. Good win for Cam Heeps. Yeah. Jack Smith in second, Connor Coles third, and obviously nobody in last place with James, the cause of the stoppage first time out. Here we can see it from the tapes. Jack Smith made a good gate off of 3. He's made a cracking gate, but just watch Cam. You know what he's going to do. He's gone in big there. You get that big long back straight, which I talk about all the time, and you can see how hot he goes in here. Lee, watch. Yeah. He just flies. Look at that. He's on it there. Connor had a little nibble on the inside there as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Well, like you said, that's the line. If you're chasing the wins and you're going for the big points, you've got to get out wide.
And we've seen it a couple of times tonight. If you put your back wheel out on
you've got to chase the dirt.
Yeah.
You've got to get close up to the air fence, as we know. A bomber special, as we might call it.
Bomber special.
But you've got to get out there. Shoots round everyone on that 4th bend there, and
home and dry then,
home and dry from there. And Jack Smith did well to cover the line, just to make sure he kept that second and keep it down to the minimum of the 2 points.
So yeah, 30-18, 12-point gap. Let's have a look who we've got coming out in this one. We're going to see Leon Flint off the inside in white for Glasgow. Next to him is going to be Jordan Jenkins in blue for the home side, Oxford. Chris Bomber Harris, tactical substitute. He will be coming in yellow off of gate number 3.
Not a surprise, and Ashton BOUGHEN, he's going to be off the outside in red for Oxford. So it's a big card, it's the card they were going to play, and if anyone can do it, it's going to be the Bomber.
Yeah, and I was actually just about to ask you if they've played the tactical yet. So
it fell on them just before 8 when you can't play it.
Okay.
And so this was first opportunity.
So he's done it straight away.
Cam's going to throw it in. And if Leon Flint can make the gate here, I mean, Ashton BOUGHEN and Jordan Jenkins, they've both scored 3 so far. They've both been on the end of 2 3-3s. So they're riding solid. But if Leon Flint can make the gate, join Chris, we could have a race on here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. As we know, a lot of the fans down there are probably hoping Harris doesn't make the gate.
Cameron Heeps getting the right winner off the 4. Here we go, heat number 9. It's a great race from Chris. Keep an eye on Leon Flint on the inside as well. Is this music to the Glasgow ears? I think it could be.
The boys are in prime position now. One on the inside, one on the outside. We knew who that would be.
Yeah. Leon Flint on the inside in white. Chris Harris riding more of an outside line, but they've got to try and work together here because Jordan Jenkins looks fast. He's on the back wheel here of Leon Flint, and we've seen riders come up the inside now as well, so there is a line up the inside if you can use it, but they're looking fast out front, Lee.
Yeah, he's definitely keeping the pressure on him. He's started to move out now a little bit off the line as he realises he's not going to make the ground up if he doesn't.
So this is the tactical that they wanted to work, and it certainly has. Chris is having a look over his shoulder. Leon Flint in second, but Jordan Jenkins is on the pace. He's not giving up. He's pushing hard, but I don't think he's going to be able to get up there and land the blow.
This is what the Tigers needed, Lee, so this is a big move by the manager and a big pulls it off.
Yeah, big 5-1 for Glasgow.
Big 5-1. It's exactly what they needed at this point in the meeting.
Not what the Cheetahs needed, exactly what the away side needed. 31-23, it just inches back in. But again, it's a great race. They both made the gate, they rode together. And again, Chris was looking, they didn't necessarily team ride, but you could see Chris was looking, he was keeping an eye on where he was, Leon was.
I think he probably felt vulnerable at that point.
Yeah, a little bit. So
Flint felt a little bit vulnerable, so he ended up following Chris's line, the fastest line, and they sort of just went together, didn't they?
Chris Harris with a win, Leon Flint second, Jordan Jenkins picked up the third, and Ashton BOUGHEN at the back. So 1-5 in the favour of the Tigers, 31-23, just creeps them a little bit closer. Here we can see it from the start again. Pretty even. Look at that from Bomber. He made a great gate there, didn't he? Yeah, don't make starts, Chris Harris. And once you drift across and catch the outside of 2, you just get that run down the back straight. And, you know, by all intents and purposes, the race is done at that point, isn't it?
I think they probably spoke about that if they could get out the gate, Flint was obviously going to cover the line and Harris was going to chase it round the dirt. So it worked out absolutely perfectly.
But Jordan kept pushing. He didn't stop pushing, did he?
He did push. Look, he's there right in the dirt there as we're watching that replay. He did come in a bit tighter because it does make you feel that you get that sense of that you're actually going to make a pass a little bit. Obviously, you're on. And we
saw Scotty Nicholls do it to Anders Rowe where he completely changed his line.
Yeah.
I think that's because Anders got caught mid-track a little bit, whereas Leon I think still had his back wheel on the grip out there.
And I saw that move as well from the pits, and Scott obviously cut across the corner, then got to that dirt, hit the cushion, and then went by. But you can't stay right tight and hold the line the whole way. You're not going to get that momentum out of the corner.
No, and like we were saying, not team riding as such, but you can see Chris looking.
Yeah.
Leon's in his shadow.
Leon just
so
cut tight there,
pretty
just to cover the line, had a little look, just to make sure it was safe.
That gives the Glasgow fans. So there is some Glasgow fans here. Great to see them. Give them something to cheer about in that one. And in Anders Rowe out in this one, they've got a man that has won heats tonight. He had a good second place behind. When he was taken by Scott Nicholls, but they come up against Sam Masters and Cameron Heeps. I wonder how Cameron is. Cameron only kind of slipped off in that one, but so we've got Sam Masters. There we go. We've got Matic IVACIC off the inside. He's failed to score from his 2 outings, all very new to him. He'll be off the inside in the yellow helmet colour. Cameron Heeps in blue off of gate number 2. Anders Rowe, 5 points from his 2 rides so far. He's white off of gate number 3, and Sam Masters red, 2 from 2 for Sam. He will be off of gate number 4, where Cameron Heeps has given me a gate winner.
See, Anders Rowe's been taking it to him tonight. I've seen he's had some good rides out in front.
Yeah, absolutely. He looks fast as well.
Yeah.
And again, when you get picked off by Scott Nicholls or Sam Masters, you're talking about 2 of the best riders around this track, or in this league.
Yeah.
So there's absolutely no disgrace in that. But he's suddenly found some form here, Anders Rowe, and he's riding well around this circuit. So in this one, Sam and Cameron, they're up against it. But if they can make the gate, maybe they can fire a 5-1 straight back at them. So here we go, heat number 10. Takes go up and away we go, and it looks like they've done it. Cameron Heeps 2, Sam Masters off a 4. They've got themselves out front. These two boys ride really well together. They know each other. They'll ride really nicely. Anders Rowe will be fast. He will keep them honest, as I say. But it's going to take a lot to get in front of these two, Lee.
Yeah, they just had a quick look over his shoulder. Now they're doing the same thing as the race before. Look, they're now following each other's line pretty much. Staying out on that line, on the fastest line.
Anders is
Looks
taking
like
a
Anders
narrow
has done a
line.
sneaky look, Lee, down the inside.
Yeah, he's done it on both turns, and he's doing it again. Look,
Yeah,
he's
he's
just
getting good
riding a
drive
really
too,
clever
yeah.
line, and he's just trying to cut back up the inside of Cam Heeps rather than trying to go big around the outside. So we've got 1 lap to go. Sam Masters is comfortable. Cameron Heeps isn't comfortable. Anders Rowe's all over him here. Sam, I think, has potentially changed line a little bit there. So look for Cam. He's looking over his shoulder.
Yeah, it looks like he's got his bike set up to hook off that inside line because he's hugging that line and gaining a little bit.
I'll tell you what, Sam Masters, that was a great race because he did definitely slow down to keep an eye for Cam Heeps.
Yep.
And just watch what run and line he was taking to just kind of block anything that Anders Rowe could throw at them. So 5-1 right back at you.
Yep. Unfortunately, that takes away Glasgow's last good ride to get back into it, and they've just hit straight back. The fans are happy with that one, the home fans. Great team riding, both looked for each other.
And again, we've both been here quite a few times. We've seen this so many times. 5-1 from Cameron Heeps and Sam Masters.
Yeah.
They're
They were
brilliant
great together,
at it.
yeah.
They ride together so well.
Proper team riders.
Yeah, proper team riding. So there we go. Sam Masters would win. Cameron Heeps in second. Anders Rowe third. And Matic IVACIC, he won't look back very well fondly on his first visit to Oxford. 3 last places for him so far. Yeah, watch it from the tail. They made a flyer, both of them. Sam off the outside, got over the top of Anders, and if anything, Matic's got on the inside of Anders a little bit there, and
Just where he wanted to be, actually. Where his bike was hooking up.
possibly as he was hooking up, he was just in his line. But fair play to Anders because he tried different lines. He was looking inside, outside. He was trying something different, but to get in amongst those two is tough when they're out front. They're fast,
It is, mate, yeah. But he literally there, look, he was actually hooking up well on that, right on that inside. So he must have done something with his setup to be able to do that because he goes tight here as well, but wasn't losing time like everyone else has been. He looked really tight up, maybe almost touched that bit of dirt that is right on the inside.
Because when he was younger, that was his line.
Yeah.
Everyone used to say he's an inside rider. Now he's not. He can ride anywhere.
Yeah.
But that was what he used to do so fantastically well.
Look, he's gaining there, look.
Was ride that curb. Yeah, he really put it to him for a couple of laps.
Definitely got a good setup with the slick off the inside.
So credit to Anders Rowe, but it was a 5-1 to the home team. Oxford pulling away here, starting to stamp their authority on this meeting.
So what's that, 12 points now?
Yeah, back to 36-24. Connor Coles is going to be out in this one. No Luke Killeen for the rest of the meeting. Scott Nicholls off the inside in red. Next to him, Chris Harris in white. 6 and 8 points for those two so far. Solid performance from Connor Coles, guesting tonight in blue. He's going to be off gate number 3. He's in for the injured Luke Killeen. And Jack Smith, a solid second place last time for Jack. He's going to find himself off gate 4 in the yellow helmet colour. So yeah, the gap is just big now. You know, when you know you've got Scott Nicholls and Sam Masters to come a couple of times, the writing is potentially on the wall here for the home side, especially for the away side. But like Cameron Heeps said to me, the manager says, I just want to keep it close. I've got to keep it close so that when they come to us, we can have a go at it.
Yeah, so they can try for the
bonus. And that is what they'll be thinking now. And in Bomber, you've got a man that can win this race. And in Jack Smith, he can potentially put it 2 races maybe, inside and outside here. Our two British legends.
Just a few British championships on those.
I was going to say
inside 2 gates, mate.
In there ever.
Is that like 10?
And Jack Smith's dad, he's bringing a few as well, isn't he?
I think it's only 7 for Scott, and I think 3 for Harris. So, and a British Grand Prix as well.
Yeah. So let's see what this heat brings.
I think we might be having 2 battles in one here.
Yeah, it tends to happen like that, doesn't it? You know, Scott and Chris. But Connor's been making great gates tonight. I'd love to see Connor Coles here make the trap. And
I just said as well, the supporters will be hoping that Chris doesn't make the start.
Yeah.
To make it interesting.
That's what we all like. We don't want to see Chris Harris go. Here we go then. Heat number 11. Takes go up. Scott's made a blinder there. Ref's going to let it go because he didn't move. Chris Harris tucked into second place. Connor Coles moves underneath. Jack Smith into third. But the battle is going to be out front. Can Chris Harris get up on Scott Nicholls?
There's the 2 battles we talked about already.
Scott's out front, Chris in second, but again, like you say, Connor and Jack, they're going at each other at the back as well.
Literally going bar to bar as well there, so.
Connor's just keeping himself ahead of Jack Smith in the same way that Scott's riding the fastest line. It's going to be really hard here for Chris to get up on Scott because he's got his back wheel right on that line, right on that grip, and as much as he's not pulling away, Chris ain't going to be able to land a blow on him.
Scott's riding the perfect line to cover that line, but Harris is still having a go. Scott just coming in a bit tighter now, look.
Yeah, and
trying to cover the dive bomb.
Yeah, he's gone for the big long back
But
straight here,
Harris is having
Chris.
a go. Here we go, Kill.
He's going to go in big. Is Scott going to move out and cover it? Yeah, Scott moves out and covers it. And just in the run for third place,
Look at that, right to the
Jack
line.
Smith. Oh, he almost got up on Connor Coles.
Very nice.
Great heat. Two
Good
races
stuff.
in one.
Yeah, we called it before that race. We thought we was going to see two battles
Scott,
going on there.
Scott with the win over Chris Harris and Connor Coles with the win over Jack Smith. Good speedway
race.
from all four.
Yes.
But what it does do is extend the lead, mate. Here we go. Scott Nicholls with the win, Chris Harris second, Connor Coles third, Jack Smith fourth. 4-2 to the home side. That extends it to a 14-point lead. And yeah, essentially the meeting, I would say, as we head into the interval is pretty much done and dusted. Here we see it from the tapes. Connor, again, he's trapped really well tonight. Fair play to Connor Coles. He's been in the mix in that first turn.
Yep.
Jack Smith potentially just got a bit of a run on him there. But Connor straightens up, gets himself into that third place. But when you've got two guys that are that good and that quick out front, you know, one of them's got to make a mistake for the other one, for the second place guy to.
As well, look, with these reserve second string riders, that's the most important thing, to get the 4-2 difference. Look, that makes a big difference. Keeping that third place there to get the 4-2 makes a big difference.
Yeah, and I would say that Peter Schroeck and Oxford will be absolutely delighted with Connor Coles. No, he hasn't come last tonight. I know he's had one where he's only in a three-man race, but he scored points in every one of his rides.
Yeah, that's a big thing for the team if you can get your reserves, your second strings, your number 2s and 4s,
massively
in them third places, not known the last places. Then if your heat leader can win, then you're obviously always gaining. So
that's what does it. But we literally did have the two, exactly as we said. We had the clear two heats there. Because fair play, you know, Jack, he was on the gas for the entire
right to the
heat.
wire, didn't it, with those two as well? Closer than this one, actually. Chris Litt just tried that one more dive down to the fence, but Scott was being clever, just cut across that line like he did earlier.
Held the win.
Got the job done.
There we go. Back to tractor racing. Back to the tractor. So 40-26 is the scoreline, and it's you know, that's exactly what Oxford would have wanted. They wanted to win this. There we see some gate stats. So we've had 3 from inside, 2 from 2, 4 from 3, and a couple off of 4 now. And that's what happens at this track. Every meeting I come to, there is always a better gate, but you get wins off of every gate here.
That's good, isn't it? That's what we want to see.
1 and 3 are providing the points. Over 2 and 4. So Oxford get it at the end of the meeting because Chris Harris won the toss. So.
It's normally like 3, isn't it? And on most tracks it's normally the one, but I think they sort of tend to come more over the outside.
Yeah, that's it.
The line
and that's what the boys were saying earlier on. They grill before, as the meeting goes on. 4 just gets grilled. All the guys going over the top of it.
That's pretty decent.
Goes off. So interesting meeting so far. You know, Glasgow have hung in there. They gave us a couple of entertaining races, but Oxford, you know, with in the next heat you got Ashton BOUGHEN out, and it'll be Connor Coles again.
Cheetahs have been strong all the way through tonight.
Yeah.
Obviously they threw the tactical out there. Harris did a great job. Give him in the shout, but obviously without that tactical, Oxford have been pulling away throughout the night, so the home team's definitely been dominant tonight.
And Matic IVACIC is his first visit here.
Yeah.
3 last places. It's hard to make up for that when you've got a rider in the main body of your team getting a duck, isn't it?
It's always difficult, isn't it? Like you said, trying not to get them last places. We were just talking about it earlier with Connor. If you can get them third places, makes a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a bit of an interval going on. I can see a couple of your riders over there. Lee, is it yours? Do you know?
Mark Anderson.
That's mine. There we go.
There he is.
There you go. I
Blast
thought catch you out there, but you have got him. So yeah, we were talking about the motocross and speedway memories, the videos you were doing.
Yeah.
I mean, when I watch the ones I'm watching you interviewing, like Crumpin, Hans Nielsen, and you know, did you do Marvin Cox? I see Cocker. I remember seeing Cocker. You must, you know, you just sat there talking to your hero, asking questions to your hero.
It's ridiculous. Like now to be in contact with all of them, be friends with some of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Literally, like, blows
Can you
my mind.
believe the way it's gone off?
No. I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't know Kilby until obviously I hadn't been going to Swindon, so I wasn't around Speedway.
Yeah.
Obviously you see social media, but that's social media. And then I went to Poole randomly to watch Poole. couple of years after Swindon shut, and I literally got out of the car with the wife, who hadn't really been to Spear for a long time, went to Poole, got out of the car, was walking across the car park, and someone said, "Lee, love your interviews, mate." So I was like, "Oh, thanks." Thinking, eh? And then my wife said to me, "Who's that?" I said, "I've no idea."
Yeah.
And literally went from that, and then like see later on further in the night, and then I thought, oh yeah, I suppose I did the interview with Darcy Ward and Chris Holder and a few of that, but I just didn't even think, mate. I didn't even think, to be honest.
Huge names.
And it's just gone mad. Same in motocross.
And you've had the riders ringing you up to do them.
I know.
So it's not even like you're doing the ringing. Who can
obviously
I
further down the line.
Who can I chase? Yeah, but do you know what I mean? When that happens, and you've suddenly got riders that we all know and that we've all seen, that's phenomenal, mate. And you've got to pat yourself on the back, because you've done a great job in getting it to where it is. Because you go and you take photos at MX as well, and you've run a couple of your own events, haven't you?
Yeah, down to 5. I'm on 5 already with that.
That's
already.
brilliant.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And that took off.
And you get like Andy Graham.
Andy
Graham came.
Come,
you know,
had like Ronnie Corrie, Chris Lewis had a ride.
Yeah.
Get a lot of the legends come. Barney Kennett, who's here tonight as well. Bless him, he's a legend. Selfie King.
Selfie King. and it is all about Speedway. We've got to look forward, and we've got to get some tracks back, and the sport is as engaging when you come to a track, and the racing can be as brilliant as it ever has been. But to keep the nostalgia alive is just so important for our sport, isn't it? And that's essentially what you're doing in such a fantastic way.
Yeah, I think like memories, reminiscing. People love to do that. Like when we come here tonight, we'll see people we haven't seen or whatever, and you straight away reminisce about your dads, whoever it is. Everyone's got a story to tell. Basically, I was just reminiscing my dad. Just to go around Dad's before obviously he died, and then you'd be talking about his speedway, my motocross, and getting stories. So it was basically sort of bringing that out into the public, really. And then just talking to all the riders. Of course, everyone's got stories.
And people love it.
Then legends are telling me that they didn't know things about other legends, and stuff like
right.
that. And I was like, "What, you watched?"
And that's exactly what I was about to say. What I like is when and just quickly, where can people find it before I go to my point?
Yep. So on Facebook, Instagram, Motocross and Spear Memories. I've got a YouTube account, Motocross and Spear Memories. Got all of them recorded on there under live and videos. There's like hundreds now. Yeah,
I love it. It's brilliant. and like when I'm watching, I watch it sometimes, and then a question will pop up, and it's like Dennis Sigalos asking Bruce Fenn a question. Like, this is mental. And Lee Ashby sat in the middle.
Oh
of
no, mate! It's literally, I'm in like a spare room in Swindon. It's so bizarre.
Fair play to you, man. It's really good. It's really good. I love it.
It is bizarre.
Yeah, I love it. It's
never gets old.
It's terrific to see.
Yeah.
And let's hope that this goes well tonight. And I hope this is something that second halves were just part of the course when they were younger, and Speedway. But now it's not so much. You get 15 heats. Sometimes you get something afterwards. I think people just like to see something else, whether it's for juniors, whether it's for little kids on these little bikes that have suddenly appeared, or whether we've got like the Men in Black or the Blast from the Past that's going on now. It's brilliant, and I hope it's well supported tonight, and I hope it goes well, and we get a few more on the calendar next year.
I literally did speak to a family earlier as well when they were parading the bikes down the bottom there at the end of the stand, and one of the fans just said that he's brought someone here for the first time tonight, and then he didn't know this was going to happen as well with the old school bikes with the Blast from the Past.
Brilliant.
And he just said that'd be a fantastic. I'm bringing my wife's comes now as well, and we do it as a family. And he just said, look, it would be really nice to watch something different after from the old days as well. So
totally, and then that's what it's all about. Yeah, I'm all for it. And again, with a view to the future, we hope that Paul Bowen, who I work with on BSN, he's got the electric bikes kicking on. We hope that takes off, and that gets a platform to showcase next season and get some little mini meetings after meetings, and it's terrific to see.
Yeah, like I'm even doing at the moment the kids on the electric bikes in motocross.
Yeah,
doing
brilliant.
The commentary for that.
Because we see little Cruz Harris, Bomber's lad.
So cool.
He puts laps in wherever he goes. Always see Chris walking through the pits with that bike, and it's great. People just want to see a bit more activity and a bit more action. So awesome that you've joined us, Lee. What do you want to do? Because what have we got? We're on.
Well, I'm going to head off now, probably.
Okay, I'll go through the scores and I'll commentate on your English win later
asking
on.
Me up. It's been amazing to hang out with.
Who'd have thought we'd have been doing this 45
kids.
years ago, mate? Right, let me run through the scores with you.
Carry on.
We've got Sam Masters unbeaten, 9 points. What a performance so far from him. He's been absolutely superb. Cam Heeps again, 8pay10. He's so solid in that number 2 spot, Cam. And then as we drop down, Scott Nicholls again, he's unbeaten with 9, 3 from 3 for Scott. And a shout out, I've already done it. Connor Cole's there at reserve, 5 third places, paid 6 points. Excellent return. He's got to be really pleased with that. And I imagine the management here at Oxford are as delighted as he is with that. And for the away side, there's a bit more of a tricky picture. A couple of wins for Chris, 10 points from his 4 rides. And then, you know, Anders Rowe, he picked up a really good win in his first outing, battled for a great second, only got done by Scott Nicholls in that second race. And then Leon Flint, you know, he's paid 6 from his 3 rides. I think that deserves a pat on the back. And then at the reserve level, the boys there have struggled a tiny bit. James with a win in his first one. So yeah, tail of the tape is, you know, they've got a couple of unbeaten riders for the home side. And it's been a bit more of a struggle for the away side. So yeah, big thank you to Lee Ashby for joining me. That was awesome. We'll talk to you again in a little bit, my friend, and we will move quickly on with heat number 12. We've got a minute until tape's up on this one. We've got Ashton BOUGHEN. He's going to be coming off of the inside in red. 3+1 for him so far. James Pearson, he's going to be going off of 2 in the yellow helmet colour. 3 points for James from his 1 win. Nicholls, 5 paid 6, he's in blue off of gate number 3. And Anders Rowe, 6 points from his 3 rides, he's going to be in white off of the outside. So again, a race that could go any way. All 4 of these riders could make this trap, make the trap and make the win here. Glasgow will be hoping it's Anders or James. And Ashton BOUGHEN, we've seen use that outside line to great effect on occasion tonight already. Just have something going on here with the starting tapes. Oh, the outside's pinged up. Magnet's just released a minute. Still got 30 seconds. Hopefully it's just come unclipped and it's not the magnet. There we go, lovely job. Very happy. The boys roll up to tapes. Chris DURNO, our referee, gets the guys in line. Starting marshals now happy. Tapes are reset. Heat number 12, 40-26 to the home side. Whoa, that's going to get called back. Ashton BOUGHEN with an old school flyer. He flew from the traps there. Let's just keep him straight back round to the tapes, please. You 4 will go again. So a bit of a warning, just keep an eye on Ashton BOUGHEN here on the inside. That's an old school flyer. Yeah, a little bit of movement before it went. Nothing wrong with that in the old days. Great start. But unfortunately not at the moment, Ashton. So he will pick up a warning for that. Let's go again. Ashton BOUGHEN off the inside in red. James Pearson yellow gate 2. Nicholls blue gate 3. Anders Rowe white off of gate number 4. Fresh 2 minutes. Straight back round to tapes. That's what we like. We've had a couple of hold-ups already tonight, so we don't want any more. I imagine we'll move through the next few heats pretty swift to get this meeting done. Give the blast from the past guys the opportunity to get out and put in their races. But the meeting all but one for the home side now. So it is about consolidation for the away side. Can they creep a few more points back in so that when they've got this second leg at Ashfield on Friday, they don't have a mountain to climb? Oxford will be hoping exactly the opposite. Let's see what heat number 12 brings. Ashton BOUGHEN needs to sit still on the inside, and he's done that, and away we go. And again, Nicholls, trapper tonight. He's made the gate along with Ashton BOUGHEN, but he's just drifted across turn 2 there and has gone backwards into last place. He's been taken by both James Pearson and Anders Rowe. Out front is Ashton BOUGHEN, made a great start, rode a nice first 2 turns. He's got fresh air, he's out front. Again, it's going to take a lot to catch him, but if anybody can, Anders Rowe probably can, because he's looked fast tonight. He's moved into second place now, Anders. But Ashton BOUGHEN's out front, Anders Rowe in second, James Pearson in third. Nicholls drifted to the back after making a great start. But can Anders Rowe, again he's doing what he did before, he's just riding that curve, he's riding the line quite tight. Something's just come off the bike, I think it was just a cover there as he went down the back straight. 1 lap to go. Has Anders Rowe got the speed to get up and challenge? He's really riding that curve really nicely. But that was a nice line from Ashton BOUGHEN that time. He didn't drift across too. He was more straight line speed, and that's going to give him the win in this one. Great win for Ashton BOUGHEN. Second place for Anders Rowe. Third place for James Pearson. 3-3 scoreline. 43-29 the progressive. A good win for Ashton BOUGHEN there. Solid win for Ashton BOUGHEN. First non-scoring ride for Nicholls. Anders Rowe moved himself up into second to put a challenge on, but there we go. Ashton BOUGHEN with a win. Anders Rowe second. James Pearson third. Nicholls at the back. Back wheel celebration from Ashton BOUGHEN. 3-3, 43-29. Result in the bag. Barring 3 15-0s. Here we go. From the tapes. There's a good gate again from Nicholls. He's been trapping really well tonight. But Ashton BOUGHEN just rode that curb really nicely. And you can see him giving it a bit of throttle as he went down the back straight there. Anders Rowe moved straight underneath. And then he pulled away. Anders got himself up into second place. Pulled away Ashton BOUGHEN. Second place Anders Rowe. 3-3 scoreline. That was a 43-29. I think in all the excitement with having Lee in the box earlier on, we missed. I might have missed James Pearson coming out in heat 11. Apologise about that. Anders Rowe's riding the curb really nicely. He's getting a fast line around that curb, and he is gaining on who he's racing against out wide, but wasn't enough then to get himself up and challenge Ashton BOUGHEN. So we move on to the big heat 13. Always a cracker of a heat. Chris Harris, 10 points so far. He's going to be off the inside in white for Glasgow. Unbeaten. Sam Masters, red off of gate number 2 for Oxford. Paid 6 for Leon Flint, yellow, gate number 3. And unbeaten so far, Scott Nicholls, blue, off of the outside for the Cheetahs. So big heat 13. Could go either way. Well, you've got to give credit to Leon Flint. He's made his way up through the sport really well, and he finds himself in, you know, amazing company in these heat 13s and 15s that he's riding in this season. Still really at the start of his career, but doing exceptionally well. Credit to him for that. This will be a big ask. See what he can produce up against the unbeaten pairing. 6 of our 12 races so this evening so far have been won by either Scott Nicholls or Sam Masters. Okay, heat 13. Sam Masters, Scott Nicholls, Chris Harris, Leon Flint. Takes up and away we go, even break. Sam Masters gets over the top of Chris Harris. Scott Nicholls tries to come up the inside of Leon Flint, can't make it happen. It's a 3-3 at the moment as we come down the back straight for the first time. Sam Masters out front. Keep an eye on Chris Harris. He's going to buzz all over the back. He goes in a little bit deeper into turns 1 and 2. Can he cut back up the inside? Scott Nicholls is right on the back wheel of Leon Flint as well. We've got 2 races in one here, and they're all on top of each other. Chris Harris just tries a different line. Scott Nicholls puts a big move on Leon Flint, but Leon Flint holds firm. Sam Masters out wide. Chris Harris at the inside of him. Now moves outside. Scott Nicholls is probably going to do the same thing on Leon Flint. Nothing's changing hands as we go into the last heat. Sam Masters out front, Chris Harris second, Leon Flint third. Chris Harris looks up the inside of Sam Masters. Can Sam get the run down the outside? Yes, he can, and he closes the door. At the same time, Leon Flint did it to Scott Nicholls. Sam Masters going to take the win. Will Scott Nicholls take third place? No, Leon Flint holds on. Fantastic speedway race. Sam Masters, Chris Harris, Leon Flint, Scott Nicholls. Excellent speedway from all 4 of those boys in that one. But it's Sam Masters who takes the win. Don't often see a last place around here for Scott Nicholls, but that shows the calibre of that heat and the quality of that heat. 46.32. Fair play to Scott and Sam there, taking the plaudits of the crowd. Sam Masters with a win, Chris Harris second, Leon Flint third, Scott Nicholls fourth. 46.32, 3-3 in that one. Superb heat 13. 2 races in one, didn't know where to commentate. Here we can see it from the start, a pretty even break. Scott missed it a little bit from 4, but 4's been a tough place. And then Leon just went across the front of him. Shut the door on him. And then Scott was battling to get in front of Leon Flint at the same time. Chris Harris was battling to get in front of Sam Masters, and they just couldn't, neither of them could make it pay. All the way through, they were battling, looking inside, looking outside. But it did stay a 3-3 for the entirety. Look how close Scott is there to the back of Leon Flint. Just couldn't get up into a scoring position. And he did put a couple of moves, tough moves, fair but tough, in on Leon Flint, and Leon just didn't flinch, held his line. As Chris couldn't really get up close enough to Sam to get involved. Look how close he is there, but he's not threatening. Sam's still in control, still bossing the heat there. Fantastic race, good speedway from all four. So 46.32, the result is now confirmed and in the bag. We are going to see Tom Spencer again here for a fourth ride, which is good. But that does look like a tactical change into, is that Matic IVACIC? We have got Connor Coles off the inside in blue. James Pearson in white off of gate number 2. And then we've got Jordan Jenkins in red off of gate number 3. And we've got Tom Spencer in yellow off of gate number 4. From where I look down on the start line here, you can't see the back of the race. I'm pretty sure the pink boots are giving it away, so I think it is James Pearson. Yeah, there we go. That's James. I won't get that wrong again. So here we go with 46.32. The result is in the bag. Let's see what these four boys can produce. Can they give us a good race? Jordan Jenkins, Connor Coles, James Pearson, Tom Spencer. Takes up and away we go. Jordan Jenkins with a great gate. Whoa, as they all come together in that first turn. Connor Coles made the gate again, and he made a domino effect over with James Pearson and Jordan Jenkins. But Connor Coles finds himself out front. Jordan Jenkins is going to come round the outside of him into the first place. Connor Coles second. James Pearson currently third. He'll put the pressure on Connor Coles for that second spot. Already doing it, looking at the inside of him. Tom Spencer just drifting away again at the back there a little bit. James Pearson looking to go round the outside of Connor Coles, but Connor Coles moves over and shuts the door. Jordan Jenkins has pulled away here. The win's in the bag for him. The battle's going to be for second place. Will it be Connor Coles? It's just drifted across two a little bit from inside to outside, giving James Pearson just a little sniff. But with a lap to go, it's in the hands of Connor Coles. Is it going to be a 5-1 or is it going to be a 4-2? What can James Pearson do for Glasgow here? Connor Coles riding hard, holding on to that second place. Jordan Jenkins has got the win. He's home and dry, and it's going to be Connor Coles. Solid second place for him. Great second place for Connor Coles. James Pearson tried all that he knew, but just could not get up alongside Connor Coles. So it is a 5-1. That takes us to 51.33. Jordan Jenkins comes round to take the applause from the crowd, rightly so. Good win for him. Connor Coles tucked in behind him for the second place. James Pearson battled hard but couldn't get up to land a blow on Connor Coles for that second place. He finishes third. Tom Spencer at the back. 51.33, big 5-1 to the home side. That puts the result completely to bed and does hammer home a bit of an advantage for the away leg with one more race to go. Connor Coles made the gate there and just pushed James Pearson over into the line of Jordan Jenkins, who's made a great gate himself. And in all of that, Tom Spencer in that first turn was in the mix, but was just on the back end of those three and just had to lock up a little bit, and that put his race to bed. Jordan Jenkins then came round the outside of Connor Coles into the lead, and that left us with a battle for second between Connor Coles and James Pearson. But fair play to Connor. That's his 7th ride of the evening. He's taken his full quota, and he gets a second place to even out the last place that he had in the race before. So well done to him. You can see James Pearson, he's all over the back of him. Connor had to ride. Just here, Connor just drifts from inside to outside. And just isn't getting as much forward traction as James. That's what got James up onto the back wheel of him there on a couple of occasions. James possibly not going deep enough there, a little bit of trouble. Hopefully he didn't come down. And that's given us a 51.33 scoreline. Something for the Cheetahs to defend when they go up to Ashford on Friday. Who are we going to see in 15? The result is secured, well and truly. So does that mean that Peter Schroeck can play with this Heat 15 a little bit? Potentially give a couple of riders the opportunity. Maybe we'll see Cam Heeps, potentially Jordan Jenkins. I can see Sam Masters there with the blue helmet. So we know Sam's in there. Sam Masters is going to be in blue. what else I can see. Not a lot from here. My eyesight's not that great. Someone's going to walk into shot with a red helmet colour. It's definitely not Scotty Nicholls. It's not Ashton BOUGHEN, it's not Jordan Jenkins. Is it Cam Heeps? The Dynamite duo? I think it is. Dynamite duo, Heeps and Masters. I'd hazard a guess we're going to see Chris Harris and Anders Rowe. Potentially Leon Flint. All three of them, to be fair, for the away side. They're the ones that have put it to the home side. Chris with a couple of race wins, 3 second places. Anders Rowe with a win and a couple of second places, and Leon with a couple of solids. So yeah, let's have a quick look before we go into. So Sam's on a maximum. He'll take that into heat 15 with him. Cameron Heeps with his pay 10. He's going to join him. And then a last place for Scott there in his last one. Means he finished on 9, but for 6 and 7, the middle order of the side there, and Connor Coles at the bottom. Yeah, they've all scored well. There's Chris, a couple of race wins for him. Anders Rowe with a win and a couple of second places. Solid in the middle of that side for him. And then Leon, yeah, Flint, he's battled away for his paid 8. And to be fair to James Pearson, he's got a couple of third places in there as well to go with his race win. But just not enough for the away side. And when you've got somebody not picking up any points, as they had in IVACIC, that's telling come the end of the meeting. So one race to go. We know the home riders. Any minute now we'll see the away riders on track as well. And we'll give you them. So I think it was Leon and Chris. Yeah, I think it was Leon and Chris. Yeah, Chris Harris in white and Leon Flint in yellow. Yeah, so I imagine that was a toss-up between Leon Flint and Anders Rowe there to join Chris Harris. But Leon looked quick, did very, very well in heat 13. So potentially deserves to get that heat 15. So there we go. Heat 15, last heat of the night. We've had a good Speedway meeting. Glasgow, even though it's crept away from them, they've been riding hard and doing well. We're going to see Cameron Heeps off the inside in red for Oxford. Next to him in white, it's going to be Chris Harris for Glasgow. Sam Masters will be in blue, trying to protect and secure that maximum. He'll be in blue off of gate number 3, and Leon Flint will go off of gate 4 in the yellow helmet colour. All 4 of these have scored well tonight. Good performance from all of these. What is heat 15 going to bring? The Cheetahs going to hammer home this advantage, take an even bigger lead back up to Scotland on Friday, or can Glasgow get a 5-1, 4-2, something in this heat, just to try and stem that flow a little bit? We shall see. Start Marshall calls him into line, got about 20 seconds to go. Sam Masters has taken his time, and he's right on the line there, Sam Masters, right on the inside of gate number 3. Here we go then, last heat of the night. Takes go up and away we go, and it's an even break into that first turn, but the Cheetahs come out on top. Keep an eye on Chris Harris round the outside of Sam. Is he going to do it? Oh, Sam's riding hard at the inside. Chris Harris is going to have to go deeper. Will he get a run around Sam? Yes, he's going to. Sam Masters out front, Chris Harris second, Cameron Heeps in third, Leon Flint at the back. So Sam looks like he's going to get that maximum. Chris Harris second place, Cam Heeps third at the moment. Leon Flint just looking up the inside of Cam. Cam holds it down into lap number 3. Sam Masters out front, he's been superb tonight. Oh, Chris just kisses the bottom of the fence. Takes off a tiny bit but gets it back under control. That's given Cam Heeps the opportunity to just gain a bit of ground on Chris. With 1 lap to go, Sam Masters is going to secure a faultless 15-point maximum. Fair play to him, he's looked superb tonight. Can Chris hold on to that second place? Yeah, looks like he's going to. Cam's trying his socks off, but no, they're both out touching the bottom of that fence. Chris Harris second, Cameron Heeps third, and Leon Flint
battling away at the back there, but couldn't make it stick. And that's a great night for Sam Masters on his back wheel. Fair play to him, 15-point maximum, faultless, immaculate, all the superlatives you can give him. Great performance from him, excellent stuff. So 55-35 is how players ended here. That is a big lead. Sam Masters with a win, faultless 15-point maximum from him. Chris Barris racing away, battling away, took off at one point. He got second place. Cam Heeps with the third, and Leon Flint working away at the back, but just couldn't get up in amongst the scorers. So yeah, Sam made the gate, got over the top, in front, took control. Chris just got a little bit of a run here around the outside of Cam. And just watch Chris here, goes in deep. Cam's just in the middle of the track there. He can't defend that from there, and Chris just gets over the top of him into second place. Cam kept working, kept battling away. Just couldn't get himself back up into that second place. And it ends at 4-2 to the home side. To give the final score 55-35. Leon's all over the back of Cam, and well, that's just where Chris just took off. And that's where the grip ends up, right on that base of that fence. He put his back wheel right on it. Just took off a tiny bit. And again, you can see Cam, he's riding the line that's going to work if it's going to work. But when you've got somebody as fast and as wily as Chris Harris in front of you, he's going to be riding the line that you want to take, which is exactly what he tried to do. So we sincerely hope you enjoyed that one. Great Speedway meeting, some good racing in there. And the Oxford riders just going to take a lap of honour. Sponsors that have been out on the centre green just make their way back over. Spencer Timo there, former Cheetah and had a spell with the Robins. Big sponsor of the club, good supporter of the Oxford club. So 55-35 the final score. From about mid-meeting, it never really looked in doubt, did it? It's just what Glasgow could do to hold on to the coattails of Oxford, and not a lot in the end. That's a big scoreline, and Peter Schroeck and his Oxford team would like to think they can go back up to Ashfield and hold on to that aggregate point, the minimum. So we've currently got a lap of honour for the Oxford boys here. And Jordan Jenkins is coming round, and on the back of his bike he's got Ashton BOUGHEN, and on the back of that bike is Wayne Hutt. So 3 on a bike there. Not sure why Wayne Hutt's getting a lap of honour. He's done a bit of track work tonight, that's about it. So well done to the Cheetahs, deserved victory for them tonight. So what we are going to bring you in just a short moment. Connor and Cam. Much credit to Connor tonight. I thought he rode really well, battled away, scored in all but one of his 7 heats. And great performance. And the last 2 to come round to take the plaudits from the crowd. Looks like it's going to be the 2 star men. Sam Masters, Scott Nicholls. And they look like they're on a retro bike there. One of the bikes we're potentially going to see in the blast from the past meeting that we will have in a few short moments for you. So stick around, maybe get a quick cup of tea. Join us again. Where you are going to see Mark Anderson, Martin Connor, Graham Wilson and Keith Cornell for England. And you're going to see James Colbert, Simon Bevan, Steve Cook and Stuart Coleman for Scotland. Back in the day, this was a popular test match, England versus Scotland. Jimmy McMillan, George Hunter and the like racing for Scotland. And they are straight out. There we go. I'll do my best to commentate on this one. I don't know who they are, but fair play to them.
giving us a few extra heats of action. That's Mark Anderson there. Speaking to Lee Ashby, Mark seems to be the main man behind this. He's the driving force. So, a bit of backstory. They've run 2 test matches so far. One at Glasgow, one at Berwick. Scotland have won 1 and there's been a draw. So England have got to win this one to make it 1 apiece. And if that does happen, then apparently we are going to get a super heat of description, which will decide the series. So the Men in Black are a group of guys that were heading out and doing some laps at tracks. Just exhibition races, exhibition laps. It's just good to see the old bikes and the old riders. So, I mean, these 4 guys are obviously enthusiasts. They're not names that jump at me for racing back in the day, but they may well have done. But what they're doing is keeping the GMs and the Westlakes. And there's an old, Jack might be a bit too old. Definitely GMs and Westlakes I've seen down there. So this is Heat 1. You're going to have Mark Anderson, Martin Connor, James Colbert and Simon Bevan. Good on you guys. Let's see what you can produce. Martin Coleman's been left at the tapes there. Mark Anderson's made a blinder. Can Simon Bevan come round the outside of him? Nah. Mark Anderson's got that dialed in. He's got his wheels in line. 3-3 at the moment. It don't look like Martin Connor's going to get up the challenge. Mark Anderson, he's out front. James Colbert and Simon Bevan, they're packed in the 2nd and 3rd. Not sure Martin Connor's going to get up the challenge, so Mark Anderson's got to keep going here to get a 3-3 for England. They are strung out a bit here. I think 3 laps will possibly be better than 4, but we are going to do the full 4 laps. The smell is different. I've got my son Max with me, and we're both sniffing the air because the bikes do give off a different smell. So we've got 1 lap to go here. Mark Anderson, he's out front for England. We've got James Colbert and Simon Bevan. They're packed into 2nd and 3rd for Scotland. Martin Connor's plugging away. He's not going to get into the points, but he's going to complete his 4 laps. It is going to be a race win for England. And Mark Anderson, he'll take the cheers from the crowd. 2nd place, I think was yellow. I think I was yellow in 2nd place. James Colbert in 3rd. So 3-3 kicks us off. And now we're going to get a couple of the other boys coming out. Graham Wilson, Keith Cornell, Steve Cook and Stuart Coleman. That's going to be our 2nd heat. And they come round for a lap of honour. Good on you guys. Love that. Beautiful old bikes. They had them lined up on the entry to the stadium earlier on, so fans could get up and have a look and sit on and have a picture. This is brilliant. I love all that, mate. So the guys will get a 60-second breather before they're out again. So you're going to see Graham Wilson in red, Keith Cornell in blue, Steve Cook in white and Stuart Coleman in yellow. In the opening heat. England versus Scotland, the old enemy. Oh, just waiting on one more. Who are we waiting on here then? Stuart Coleman. We're waiting on Stu. Is he coming? And there is, I meant to ask Lee about it, but there is a race jacket that's going to go up for auction from this series as well. Picture of it in the programme tonight. And if you buy a raffle ticket for that, I don't know how you do that. I'm meant to ask Lee that. All the proceeds of that are going to go to the Speed Riders Benevolent Fund, which is obviously a great cause that we all we all love. Such a great job, and a quick shout out for Chris Morton and his team that are out there cycling from Cardiff to Poland at the moment. They're on day 4 of their ride. Oh, they're just getting turned around here a minute, the boys. Getting sent back to the pits. Don't know why that is. There's an announcement being made, but I can't hear it. So whether we're going to see another rider that was out in that first one again or not, I don't know. Yeah, maybe we are. It might be looking like the same guy. Sorry, if you watch this back, guys, I'm getting your names wrong. I do apologise. So I think the guy that was out in the first race is going to be coming out again in the second one. I would have to have a guess as to which one it is. Let's have a look. As long as we've got 4 riders on track, let's see what these 4 can bring. Fantastic bikes. Love the fairings, love the glitter gold mud guards and spoilers. Yeah, I think that lad was out in heat number 1. He's come out again in heat number 2. I think, that's how I'm going to do. I'm just going to read it from the programme so that I don't confuse myself even more. Here we go then, heat number 2. It's a great start from the English pairing. Going into the first turn, they look like this. They got this one in the bag. Graham Wilson, Keith Cornell, they blasted away for England. 3rd place is Steve Cook. And Stuart Coleman, oh, he's got a bit deep there. He saved it. Well done, Graham. Graham Wilson out front, Mark Cornell in 2nd. Steve Cook in 3rd at the minute. And it's either James Corbett or Simon Bevan in 4th. One of the 2 there, I think. The 2 English lads, they're out front doing a bit of team riding. Some fantastic old leathers being worn. If either of them get in trouble, Steve Cook might get involved. With a lap to go though. Giving it a bit of gas as they come around 4, get the back end out. 1 lap to go. Looking like it's going to be an English 5-1. I'm not going to film my programming just yet, just in case. Yeah, great win. Fair play, Keith Cornell with a win. Graham Wilson in 2nd. Steve Cook with the 3rd. And either James Corbett or Simon Bevan, I think. In 4th, so 8-4. England storm into a lead, 8 points to 4, with 2 to go. You come round for a lap of honour. Exhibition stuff, I like it. So I think what we might see is the boys might just take a little break for 2 minutes. And I think we might see a couple of the mascots come out and just put in a couple of laps. Cameron Heeps here, just coming over underneath us in the commentary. Just taking the praise of the crowd. A few high fives for the kids, nice one Cam. A little mascot out putting in some laps. I knew this mascot's name so I could give him a shout out. I'll find that out for Sunday and I'll give him a backdated shout out. There he is, getting a bit of screen time. Good lad. So thanks for sticking with us. We're just going to try and do these last 2 heats from the blast from the past for you. We have had a couple of little angles of this lad. You'll see him coming in now, look. Here he is. Looks quick from the static camera. So Lee Ashby managing England. Bert Harkins, famous name Bert, he would have been in there with George Hunter and Jimmy McMillan. Back in the day, racing for the Scottish team. Bert heavily involved with the World Spear Riders Association. And another little fella now, or another little, might be a little lass, I don't know. It's not Chloe Davis, I know that. Shout out to Phil Lanning, famous name, the Lannings in Speedway. Phil's watching tonight. You might still be watching, you might have clocked it off by now, Phil. If you're still watching, thanks for watching, great to see you, mate, thanks for your comments. We just got a report in Luke Killeen was concussion, so obviously just took a bang to the head. That was what the precaution was, head and neck, but we're hearing it is just concussion, so that will rule him out for 9 days. Which means he'll miss the Chargers home meeting on Sunday against Leicester, which is a real shame for him and for the team. Yeah, we'll miss a couple of important meetings, obviously Friday up at Glasgow as well, so a bit of work to do for the management to try and bring in a couple of guests. And at Poole it finished 59.31 to the Poole Pirates over the Workington Comets. Richard Lawson just dropping the 1 point, paid 14 for Richard from his 5 rides. 3 wins for Ben Cook and then a retirement. Zach Cook went through the card with the maximum. Tom Brennan just dropped the 1 point, so yeah, pretty. Tobias Thompson paid 10, that's probably his best home return. And for Workington, Paul Stark, probably with 2 race wins at reserve, is the man to shout about there. Craig Cook just 6. Antti Vulas the 6. Troy Batchelor just 4. Drew Kemp 2. Disappointing night that for, as guesting obviously. Drew Kemp, disappointing night for Workington. Okay, so we're just getting a report. They announced it over the channel here that Luke had concussion, but we're hearing that it's not concussion. We just had a little message buzz through after I said that. Which is good news. So hopefully it was just a big impact for him. He did take a hell of a wallop as he came over the side of the bike. So that's good news, that's good news. That changes perspective on Sunday as long as he's fit and feeling okay. Sorry to give you some misinformation, but that's what we heard over the tannoy here. Or the public address system. Tannoy is a brand name. As Alan Partridge would tell you. Okay, so it looks like we're going to move on with heat number 3 from Blast from the Past, England versus Scotland. If you're still with us, thanks for staying with us. Hope you've enjoyed the evening. If you're a Glasgow fan, congratulations on the defeat. You do live to fight another day. You've still got an outside opportunity of getting in those playoffs. But for the Cheetahs, it was a great performance. And they rattled up a big win here on home soil. So we've got Mark Anderson, we've got Martin Connor, we've got for England, we've got James Colbert, and we've got Simon Bevan for Scotland. And do you know what, when I look down from my commentary booth here down onto the home straight, there's still a handful of people watching this these races, which is great. Still a few stood on the terracing on turns 1 and 2, which is brilliant. It's good for these guys that they get that support. So James Calvert, he's off the inside. Martin Connor off the gate 2. Oh, that's a great gate off the 3. Simon Bevan, but Mark Anderson, he's already around him and he's out in front. Winner first time out, Mark Anderson. Simon Bevan looks like he's going to keep on him here, keep pushing him all the way. As is James Colbert in 3rd. Martin Connor, a bit more pace than last time, I think, from Martin. Looking a bit quicker than he did last time. But Mark Anderson's out front. It's going to be a 3-all. This will mean Scotland need a 5-1 in the last one to draw it, I think. Pulling away Mark. Mark Anderson out front. Simon Bevan 2nd, James Colbert 3rd. Martin Connor. He's at the back at the moment. 1 lap to go. Into their last lap then. Mark Anderson looks like he's going to get his 2nd race win of the night. Simon Bevan in 2nd, James Calvert in 3rd. And Martin Connor at the back. 3-3 scoreline. 11-7 as we go into the last race. Mark Anderson's the man. 2 race wins. And Martin Connor. He comes round to lap of honour after every race. Oop. Steady. Another mark, good stuff. So 1 race to go. 11-7 to England against Scotland. Good to see a few people stay behind to watch this. I imagine the bar's still a few people in the bar downstairs as well. So we will be back on Sunday live for the Chargers. It's good if you can get yourself down here to support the Chargers on Sunday against Leicester, but if you can't make it, then we will be streaming that meeting live. And it is a crunch meeting. They're going to need Luke Killeen for that one, Oxford, that's for sure. So hopefully, you know, we're hearing it's not concussion, which is good news. And then he can get back and get into that meeting because he's pivotal to their chances, you feel. Tapes up 3 o'clock on Sunday. We'll go live from about probably 2:30 maybe. So here we go into the last race. Graham Wilson and Keith Cornell for England. Steve Cook. I'm just going to read the programme. Steve Cook and Stuart Coleman for Scotland. Let's see what they can do. So a win of any description, even a 3-all for England, and we may well get an extra super heat to decide the series, because that'll mean Scotland have won 1, England have won 1, and there's been a draw. I'm not sure if the sound comes over on screen as much as it does for me up here, but the bikes just sound so different. It's such a great throwback. Here we go then. Heat number 4, England, Scotland. Oh, an even break. But then the English boys pull away. Looks like they may well hammer in another 5-1 here over Scotland. Just want to go a bit steady as they go around turns 1 and 2. Navigate it. Yeah, lovely job. All 4 round in one piece. Love that. But it looks like Graham Wilson and Keith Cornell, they're pulling away here. It's going to be another 5-1 to England. If they can stay upright, the use of the word upright very pivotal there, as these engines are upright. But Looks like Keith Cornell's going to get his second race win of the night. Looks like Graham Wilson's going to get his second place of the night. 1 lap to go. It's going to be a big 5-1. The Scottish boys battling with each other at the back there. So who's going to get that? So a bit close going into turn 1 there from the Scottish boys. Both desperate to pick up that 1 point. Here's another 5-1 to England. They have won this little mini meeting, which means we may well see a super heat. I'll keep you posted on that. So it's a 16-8 victory for England. You've got to be happy with that. And as the series has got to have a winner. Don't think the tension is as much as it was with deciding who was going to make the playoffs at Cardiff on make the semis at Cardiff on Saturday. Unfortunately, it was Matic IVACIC that ended up not getting in. Riders came round. Take a lap of honour. So if I was a betting man, and they do have a race off here. There's Leon Flint. Tanner Green maybe fancies it. That looks like Declan Killeen there, Luke's brother. Just waiting to hear what's going to happen. Loads of I5s. Couple of riders are just going to come out and have a lap. This is some extra content for you tonight. This is what goes on when a normal meeting ends and we turn the cameras off. We tend to get the mascots come out and have a little skid around, and we get a couple of sometimes riders come out and test bits on bikes. So there you can see us, Leon Flint and Declan Killeen looking on. I've got a funny feeling that's Senna Summers. And I've seen him progress this year for the Chargers. I've watched most of their meetings, and he's definitely come on this season. So we'll just wait and see if we can get some kind of understanding on what's happening. If you are still with us, it's lovely you're still with us. We're not getting much info up here. But we are going to see Senna Summers just do a couple more laps. And it looks like I can still see the blast from the past boys in the pits. See Mark Anderson there in the red helmet colour. He won his 2 races. He might well be coming. Looks like he is. He's primed and ready to go. So we are going to see Mark Anderson. And I would hazard a guess, it might well be Simon Bevan. For Scotland, who got 2 second places. So yeah, we can see the red and the blue there, so we're definitely going to see a couple of the riders coming out. There you go. You can see Bert Harkins there with the blue cap on, just behind Jamie Courtney. You can see Michael Hunter Clark of course, Lee Ashby there, obviously managing who we chatted with earlier. He's managing the England team. Here we go then, we are going to have one more race to decide. Well, at least I think we are. I can see the home riders, see the English riders. Is there going to be a couple of Scottish riders as well? Let's wait and see. So this will decide this little mini series. Exhibition races. Using the old GMs, Jawas, Weslakes. So, I think that is Mark Anderson, for sure, in red. The English boys just at the tapes. So the form that the English boys are in here, I think this is a 5-1. We love the fact they're all racing. Come on, England. There we go then. The decider for the series, Super Heat. Oh, I'll tell you what, England are away. That's a great start. Mark Anderson though, he's unbeaten to this point. He finds himself in 3rd place. Oh, not anymore. Up the inside. Chris Harris-Hesk. There we go. And he's holding on. The English boys are going to pull away here. Looks like it is going to be 5-1 to England. That will mean a victory overall in the series. They both won a meeting and there was a draw. So this Super Heat deciding everything. I think that is Keith Cornell in blue. I think it's Mark Anderson and Keith Cornell, I think. If I'm wrong, gentlemen, and you watch this back, I do apologise. But good on you for getting out there and racing. You've got 1 lap to go. England are going to be victorious. Jamie Lee, DJ, is going to wave the flag. I bet he's been waiting to do that all season. Jamie, you're natural with the flag. England win the series over the old enemy, over Scotland. Well done all those guys, great to see. Fair play to them for coming and having a go, putting some laps in, giving us a bit more entertainment, something else to look at. We'll give them a round of applause as they come round. Well done guys. Showboating underneath us here. Yay! Go on, England. Good on them. Love to see it. Good on them. Fair play. So there you go. You witnessed it. England win the series. It was 1-1 over the 3 with a drawn, and the Super Heat goes to England. So thank you very much for watching tonight. We will see you very soon.